Was muted. My bad. Going live now, fellas.
We some live wires.
We ain't even put the topics in.
Smack a demon in his face, suplex him, throw him across the room.
Real gone.
Yo, this is Nick D.
Yo.
You already know what it is, man. It's William Cater.
Yo, this is DJ Lost and Found from the Missing Link podcast.
Hey, what up? It's Miss Hero from Pew Army.
This is Stephen the Levite.
Yo, what's good, Josh? Your boy YP,
Whoa,
aka
there
Young
he
Paul.
is.
You know what I mean? Representing the East Coast,
Gang, gang.
New York, Jersey, stand up.
You're tuned into the That's Not
Christian Podcast.
Yo, dímelo, dímelo, dímelo.
Hello, guy.
What up, y'all? It's your
poppin',
boy
yeah?
Switch
It's good.
from That's Not Christian Podcast, and we're back with another one.
Okay.
Another one.
And we got our boy Jimmy and our boy Jay. No Ant today. Ant's on
Again.
vacation. He's on a 5-week vacation.
He's on a
Sabbatical.
5-month vacation, bro. Where your man been at, bro?
You know, doing life stuff, man. Having
Doing-
kids, man.
Doing real things.
You know what I mean?
Yo, shout out to our audio only listeners. Shout out to people live in the chat. This is episode 191 with our
Sirski.
special guest on Beat Music, who isn't here. But
Yeah, hopefully he's on his way.
hopefully he's on his way. You
Don't
know,
got no technical difficulties. You know
Yeah.
how to be. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But
Word.
yo,
what
what's
happened?
good, fellas?
Yo,
We got episode 191.
191, bro. Yo, quick question though. Do y'all have is this a West Coast thing or is it like a national thing? Do y'all have a Armenian genocide remembrance day over there? It's a thing over here.
So that's what we saw in Times Square.
What happened?
Yeah, so we was driving to our next film location. If you will follow us on Instagram, That's Not Christian. We was with YP,
Mhm.
and we coming up with some videos, some stuff, which we'll release a little later. But we were driving through Times Square, and we actually saw that. We thought it was like a protest. I thought it was a protest.
Right.
And Switch, do you remember what the sign was saying? I know it was like they need to recognize Armenian genocide, but I don't know who it was that needs to recognize it.
I don't remember what it said, but I know there was a large protest
So it was like people in the
Times
street.
Square.
They were
on the
on the block.
sidewalk.
Yeah, on the sidewalk, correct.
And they
Okay.
had like a barricade around them.
All right.
Yeah.
And it was a large poster or like a flag
Yeah.
that was saying what they Armenians or something. We didn't know what it was about. We just looked at it. It was like, yo, what's that?
All right.
Yeah,
But
because
we did read the word Armenians. I know that.
Yeah, I remember if somebody needs to recognize Armenian genocide.
Okay.
And in New York, Times Square, there's always protests every day, basically, with something.
Right.
So that's what we're saying. We thought it was a protest.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why you bring it up?
It's so today's the day. My daughter got the day off at school. Usually they're out protesting in Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
Yeah, because it was so it was this big massacre that happened in 1915. I think it was 1.5 million Armenians were killed.
Whoa.
Yeah, by I think it was the Ottomans, if I'm not mistaken. So they're looking for I guess recognition. Like, so that's what I don't understand, and maybe someone can comment below. Because I know that it's a holiday in like 2 states. I want to say, I know for sure it's California, and then the other one I think is Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, shout out to the Armenians. There's a lot of famous Armenians out there, right?
Yeah, there is. Ruslan's Armenian, no?
Ruslan is Armenian. Shout out to Ruslan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Cher is
Yeah.
probably the most popular one. You got the
No, what about the Kardashian? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Kardashians. Who else? Yeah, I think. Oh, them. What's the name of that band? Dag, I'm forgetting the name of that band. But it's a rock band too. I think they're Armenian too. I
Okay.
know. I
So
know.
Ruslan's not Puerto Rican?
You thought he was Puerto Rican?
What?
Nah, I'm just playing.
Is it because of his hairstyle? Is that why?
Nah, I'm
Beard.
just
Beard.
trolling. I'm just making fun. That's it.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to know if like it was a thing out there on the East Coast as well. But shout out to all the Armenians celebrating today. You know, and our
Word.
condolences to people that were lost there.
Facts. Facts. Well, now we know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Absolutely, man. Yo, what about my man? Rest in peace, right?
Charles
who's
Stanley,
Yeah.
oh,
OG, Southern
Yeah, man.
word.
Baptist OG,
Word.
Facts.
died
Facts.
recently.
Last
Really?
You
week,
guys
huh?
know what he died of?
Nah, he was kind of up there in age, bro.
Yeah.
Dang, why always gotta be something that somebody died of?
Bro.
I'm just
I
asking.
mean, dying of old age is good, bro. You
No,
know.
no, I know, but Switch is like, oh, he made it seem like he was sick or something.
Oh, got you. Well,
You know what
that
I'm trying to
happens
say?
too. Yeah, that happens too. I mean, you see what happened
Yeah,
with Jamie Foxx.
yeah, but he hasn't
He's a,
died.
I know, but he's a young, healthy guy, and he's hospitalized and stuff. So I understand why he asked that. So prayers out to the
Mm, okay,
both families, really. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
You guys listen to
it's,
Charles Stanley back in the day?
I used to, heavy when I first became a believer. I used to listen to him. I used to listen to what's my man's name? The Bible Bus. Y'all listen to the Bible Bus? What's his name?
What?
Yeah,
What's that?
what's my man's
That's on the
name?
radio?
On the radio, it's this country dude, man. McGee. What's his name? Vernon McGee. Y'all don't know Vernon McGee?
Nah.
never heard
Yeah,
of him.
yeah. When I first got saved, actually, I think I started listening to him when I did my little bit. Because he was always on the radio, and he got country, country as you can be, man. But you could tell he loved the Lord, and so I used to listen to him too. Him and Charles Stanley.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I know of Charles Stanley, but I've never listened to any of his messages.
Hmm.
So, was he on TBN?
He was.
Oh,
He
he
was
was.
on
Okay.
TBN, yeah. And he wasn't
Okay.
the crazy thing is he wasn't like one of those TBN type of preachers. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
He was like
Right.
real mellow dude, casual dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. Right.
he wasn't
Baptist.
like yeah, yeah.
You know. You know.
So that was surprising.
A lot of practical stuff, right? Like
Yeah,
practical preaching and very biblical sound. Nothing like off the wall, in my
right,
opinion.
right.
Hmm.
That's facts though, man.
But yeah, I haven't listened to him in years, but
Yeah, me
definitely
neither.
I feel like everybody listens to him in the beginning of their walk. That's what everyone talks about. Like,
Right.
because you had all these stations, and obviously if you're not watching them like you used to, you know what I mean, you won't be able to see the shows that are on there, you know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
Because I don't watch no TBN, bro.
Oh, you reformed. I see you. Okay.
Oh, you watch the Word channel.
Okay.
The word channel.
Yeah, you watch the Word channel.
I mean,
Yo, shout out to Creatives Network. He said he helped me early in my walk. His son not so sure about it. That was a little
Dang.
sneak diss. yeah,
oh, he
yeah.
has a son that's preaching now.
Shout out to all the members. Shout out to LNF.
Yeah,
See
and
you.
mentioned that he has one of the churches of his near him, and I think his son is the one that's pastoring it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
But don't Mason like Mike Todd?
Ooh, and he watches the Hillsong channel. With Judah, with all those people.
Speaking of Judah, I mean, we just going into it, huh? Pause.
Yeah, here we are. Mega pause.
So what's up with your man Judah Smith, man? He's saying that if you work for him, you have to tithe. Is that how that works?
Apparently, yeah. That's the lawsuit that he they got on their hands.
What?
Yeah, that if you
So
work for them, you gotta take 10% of your check.
hey, listen, man, I need
To tithe.
10% of that 100,000 subscribers plaque, bro. How about that?
Nah,
How about that, bro?
nah, you good, bro.
What you mean I'm good?
You good, bro. Zelensky gets that.
Run.
So what
But
he's
yeah,
saying that if you work for the church, you have to
I mean, it's
give
all
a
alleged. It's alleged, right? So
okay.
the girl that's, I guess, part of the lawsuit used
Mhm.
to work for them I read the video, audio video department. Um, and that she wasn't aware that that was a thing, and that apparently that it was in the, like employee handbook or rules, whatever, something like that. But they're saying that that's like it breaks some sort of employee law.
Oh
When you're
wow.
hiring somebody, yeah, like you can't do that, something like that. I don't know, or
Yeah,
maybe
because
that's the angle they're trying to go.
you taxing them on top of taxes pretty much,
Yeah,
right?
but that has nothing to do with Judah and the church.
No, I'm saying, but they being taxed right by the government,
Sure.
and
Correct.
then you're going and taxing them even
Wait,
more,
wait,
right?
wait, wait, wait. Switch. So you saying tithing is theft? Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't say
Wow.
that. I'm just saying he's taking from
Because
their
I mean,
check.
you saying you comparing it to taxes, like because they just
Yeah.
snatch that right out your check. You ain't getting a choice or whatever. So that's what you're saying.
Well, they're not giving it. They're just taking it. Like we
That's
need that
give me that.
allegedly, right?
Well,
Because I
no,
don't.
no.
Right.
Well, I don't know if they're taking it. I think it's
No, I don't think
you
they
have
are.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the article says it started with a car crash in 2020. Rachel Kellogg, a video editor for the megachurch in Seattle, was hit in her Volvo by a driver who failed to yield the right of way. With her car totaled and hefty bills from her ER stay, Kellogg found herself saddled with debt. She didn't tithe for most of 2021, right? So it says here her supervisors noticed. Yo, so the supervisor got access to the check and the tithing and all that. He said, I'm not sure if you have started giving since our last conversation. So that means they already had a convo, right? But that needs to happen ASAP. One wrote to her via Slack. Oh, so she got screenshots, bro. If she sent that in Slack, there's screenshots to that, bro.
Oh wow.
That
And it
seems
said
kind of odd.
what? That they would say that on Slack? You communicating
No, no, no. That the way you read that, it seemed like that was like a lawyer's writing, right, to explain the story. Like, yeah, she got into an accident, and because she got into the accident, she couldn't work or whatever. Like,
all right.
she's
I
not
mean, that's her
working, and
story.
how's she gonna give? How's she gonna pay her own bills?
I mean, she's working, but she's behind. She's behind. Probably she don't have a car. She's spending all her money on Ubers. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know
So
what I'm saying?
seems odd.
That's
so she was still working.
it. Yeah, because obviously, if they're able to slack her, like, yo, you need to pay your tithes. She's still working there. You know what I mean? It says that then came a written reprimand from another, I guess, another manager. It says, "It is my hope that you will take advantage of this opportunity to correct your behavior, so that you may succeed in this position." If her misconduct did not change, the note said she could face termination. Wow.
Yikes.
What you doing, son?
What?
Who?
Quitting or staying?
You gonna wait for them to fire you, or you gonna quit? What you gonna do? You gonna pay the extortion? I'm sorry, I meant tithe. Sorry.
Oh man.
How much the church is paying anyway? Like $11 an hour?
Yo, I know. Some ministries well, Christian businesses who are paying below minimum wage for social media marketing, but I digress.
Like I'm not even trying to work there, bro. You know what I mean? I'm trying to work with Benny Hinn, you heard? Benny Hinn, holler at me,
Try
bro.
to get to the bag, you know what I mean? Yo,
Wow.
Nah,
I haven't heard that dude in a while.
I
yo,
don't even know where he's at.
is he still doing ministry? Is he
I
still
don't
like
know.
filling up like the
Yeah,
student
we
center
had a
and everything else?
story. Yeah, we reported on that story where he
He said he felt bad, right?
Yeah, about the prosperity gospel, something like
Yeah,
that.
but I'm wondering if he's still like, if he's still filling stadiums and everything else, you know?
Oh, yeah, like the one
Ain't
on
one of
tour.
y'all
Yeah, I
pass
don't know
out in
about
one of
that,
his stadiums? Y'all went there and passed out.
bro. You watch him on the Word Channel, and you pass
Yeah.
out.
Wasn't that one of y'all that did that? Was it Jimmy?
Yeah.
It
That
was
went
me,
there and
bro.
passed out.
It was me. I passed out.
Wow.
So he just like he just went like this, and that was it.
Right,
It was a
Crazy.
right
wrap.
on cue.
On cue, bro.
That's wild, bro.
Nice.
Nah, but for real though,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man. So what do you think? Do you think that churches can mandate that? Pastors can mandate that? Like you have to tithe? Like is that something? 'Cause I know some believers don't. When we talked about this before, some believers don't agree with tithing, right? But like for those that believe, right? For those that believe, like, is that something you feel like they can mandate? Like they could force you to do? Like I don't know,
I
man.
mean, it's a business, right? If you think about it in that sense, he's the employer, and you're gonna go work for this company that has a bunch of people showing up every Sunday.
Right,
You're gonna get paid to edit the videos.
right.
You know, I mean, I guess so.
But I mean, I don't have to. But how does that mean that I have to tithe? Like, you
If
know,
it's a requirement, you signed up for it. I guess you do.
it's in the contract. That's what you're saying.
Right. Like you're hired. What is that called?
Work for
You're
hire.
hired. No, like your hired contract, whatever it's called when you get hired.
Employment contract.
Yeah, there you go.
That's crazy, bro.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe she
Maybe she
maybe
wasn't
she
giving nothing.
maybe she maybe she's trying to get bread. I don't
Uh,
know.
or maybe she was tithing to another church because she really wasn't feeling the ministry.
I mean, that could be possible too.
You know.
Yeah.
So you had to
Definitely
be a
possible.
member of that church to work there? Is that how that works?
That's a good question. Not sure how she got that job.
I imagine so. Like most people who work at a church, like
It's
they
because
either
they go there.
volunteer, yeah, they go there,
Yeah.
whatnot, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some stuff like on Indeed and stuff where
Yeah,
churches will say we're looking for a youth minister, and
right,
they'll say
That's
you
a good
have to
point.
have a faith and stuff like that, but you don't have
right.
to necessarily. I
Attend
mean,
the church.
I guess it'd be best if you attend the church, right? Because then
But
they
you would
know.
be attending. You're the youth pastor. Like, what you mean?
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I've seen different roles, like
Right,
secretary, different roles like that. So I don't know.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you apply
So
for that
that
job?
Nah,
No.
I
Why?
didn't apply. Because I don't feel qualified enough to be a youth pastor.
I feel you.
Youth pastor is a big
okay.
responsibility, man.
It is. It really is, man.
You gotta take care of your house first, man. That's the number
No,
one thing.
number one.
Mm.
That's facts, though, bro. That's real facts, man. But this is crazy, man. I can't. I just can't imagine like a pastor coming to me and be like, "Yo, son, like you ain't been tithing."
Like, yo, son, we've been seeing your ofrenda every week, bro, and
And
it
I'm gonna
says
be
for
like,
4 weeks now you haven't gave nothing.
"Yo, Pastor Switch, like you know what, man? I'm
Respectfully.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that I haven't tithed in 4 weeks, man. But respectfully, you don't look like you missed a meal without me tithing. You look like you good.
Respectfully.
Respectfully."
Beloved.
Mhm.
Yo, that is
I never even
wild.
heard of Judah Smith. I don't even know who he is.
You lying.
I'm serious, bro.
You lying, bro. Come on, stop the cap.
I'm
That's not
serious,
Christian.
bro.
All
That's
right.
your
That's
man's.
it.
You know the famous preachers, bro.
You know the dude, man. You've seen him
Yeah.
before.
I
Oh,
have
that
seen
is true.
I have seen
LNF says folks used to get sat down for not tithing in one of my previous assemblies.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
true too. Yeah, that's true.
That's crazy.
Disciplina.
Yeah.
Straight.
Looks like you behind on your dues, homie. You better
Yep.
run that. You better run that. That's like the
Oh, yeah.
mob, bro. That's like Tony Soprano. Like you gotta give him an envelope every month, bro. That's wild.
But what about people that don't give at all?
Why you know they don't give? Like, what if they get to like a homeless shelter
That's what
or
I'm saying. But what about
they
people
get-
that don't give at
But
all?
how you know they don't give? How you
You
know?
don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how can we talk about people you don't know what they doing? Like,
They just get the bag, but they're not giving nothing.
people give, bro. People give. They just
Yeah, they
giving
give a
no
little
way.
$1 when they see the guy with the cup. Like, oh,
Yo,
yeah,
I
here's
don't
a
even do
$1.
that, son. I just seen a dude on. I just seen a dude on the freeway. Yo, my man looked nice. Yo, he had all these white pants. Dude had on white pants and they weren't dirty, right? And the dude, like, look, I'm not a skinny guy, man. This dude was bigger than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bigger gut and everything. You know what I mean? I got a gut too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not judging him.
Mm-hmm.
But I was judging. I'm like, bro, come on, you ain't missed no meal, bro. Your belly bigger than mine, son. Get out of here. And your pants is like clean, like crispy, man. Get out of here. I didn't give him nothing, man.
Mm-mm.
That's me, bro.
Oh, forgive him.
No, man. If it was grimy and everything, you know what I mean? Like I seen.
Oh, so he got to look grimy for you
Yo,
to
you got
tithe.
you got no, not tithe. You said give.
For you
We're
to
talking
give
about
to
give.
him, right?
Yeah,
For you to give him money.
I'm saying you gotta look like you in the struggle, bro. Not just
Oh
like
my
you out here hustling. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like you just hustling. Like,
What,
yeah,
he had fresh pair of J's or something?
he didn't have no J's, but I think he had some Crocs on. But he had like clean pants. I'm telling you, they were cream. They were cream. They weren't white. They were cream.
Maybe somebody gave them to him.
Bro, they were
That
crispy
day.
though. They were crispy. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro.
You
My
judging
man
the
look.
book by its cover,
Yo,
bro.
my man looked good, bro. He said he was hungry, bro. Like he said he needed to get something to eat. I'm telling you, he didn't look like he missed a meal, man. You know? I was like, nah, man, I'm gonna get you next time.
Next time.
Bro, I know he out there all the time, man. Like, I didn't plus who carries cash, man? It ain't yo, now if he would have said, yo, shoot me that Venmo, then I would have been like, yo, I just got hustled. You know what I mean? Cause like, yo, what?
Yo,
What?
not for nothing. I actually thought, I was like, damn, these dudes out here asking for money, they should just be like, yo, I got Venmo, I got Cash App, whatever. Because they, like you said, like who carries cash? But then I
Right.
thought, was like, if somebody hit me with them, I'm like, man, you don't really need it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's all
Why?
I'm
Because they
saying.
got Cash App?
I'm just saying,
And that's
got a
kind of
bank
like what I
account?
thought. Yeah.
bro. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. I see my
Usually
man.
I'll be like, yo, you want something to eat? You
Oh
know
yeah,
what
I
I
do
mean?
that too.
Go
I
over
do that
here,
too.
you know what
But
I
I
mean?
wasn't about to do it. I was like getting off the freeway. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I was already heading to the house. I was in the car. So like I wasn't gonna go like hop in the car. Let's go get something to eat. Like, nah,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
I
yeah,
ain't doing that, man.
yeah,
Word.
yeah.
Mm-mm. No, man.
He'd be
So
like, yo, send me some crypto. You know what I'm saying? Hit me with that crypto bag.
with the wallet. Yes, I don't
Wow.
know, man. I don't know.
Speaking of giving,
Speaking of giving,
did you guys give your money to Ryan and Tank the other day?
Ryan and
Damn.
Tim. Hold on, before we get into that, man, I like to welcome our very, very, very special guest, world renowned, extraordinary YouTube influencer personality. You know what I mean? Critique Fridays host, the one and
Hey,
only on Beat Music.
What
Let's
up, guys?
What's
How
up?
y'all doing?
What's up,
what's
bro?
up, bro?
How y'all
Welcome,
Welcome.
doing?
Good,
Welcome,
good.
welcome.
We just
Thank
here
y'all for having
chatting.
me, man. Appreciate it.
For
Well,
sure.
we appreciate you
man,
coming
stopping
on, man.
by.
We just
we-
here chatting. We were just going to talk about the Ryan Garcia
Yeah,
Tank
yeah,
Davis
yeah.
fight.
You
Did
catch
get to
that?
catch it?
Oh yeah, I watched it. Yeah, that was a must watch.
Actually, you put a post up where was it Ryan? Was it Ryan? He had reposted something with your instrumental, right?
Yeah, he used my beat with the song Boast with Esso. He used that for one, it was for a tequila commercial for 1800, that one actually got broadcasted on TV.
Wow, that's not Christian.
Yeah, and then
I'm just playing. Have you had 1800? It's nice. It's
no,
smooth.
I haven't had it. I actually bought a bottle after that happened. So
Yeah,
it's
it's smooth.
Good promo then.
Yeah, and then he used it for his YouTube channel as well too. So
Okay.
yeah,
that's dope. So how does that work when like an artist uses your beat on their YouTube page? You still get a piece of that, right?
It's sync licensing. So
Okay.
it's like you send your tracks to music libraries and a bunch of different libraries, or depending on who you're working with. I work with a few different ones, but whoever is editing their videos basically is the one putting up like leasing your track,
Right.
putting it on the videos and all that.
Shout out to all the video editors.
Yeah, man, I got quite a few already, and it's been like amazing. Like the latest one I got was the Houston Astros. So
okay,
oh, let's go.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I was like, oh,
actually,
champions.
Actually, boo, because you know, us Yankee fans, you know what I mean?
I ain't even on baseball like that, but it's I'm from Texas, so.
Oh, okay, yeah, understood.
So you were Team Ryan.
Oh yeah, all day.
Okay.
I don't like Tank, bro.
Why is that?
He's that type of dude. Yeah.
He's just like, I don't know. He's annoying.
He's cocky.
Yeah, he's annoying. It's not even the cockiness, because I like Conor McGregor and he's one of the most cockiest people.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, there's something about Tank. I just don't like it. Can't explain it. There's some people you just don't like within like sports. Within sports, I'm like, there's some people you just don't like.
Nah, that's fast. That's how I feel about LeBron James.
Man. Exactly. Amen, bro.
Get out of here. Kick him out.
That's exactly how I feel about LeBron.
Wow, thank you. Hey, everybody. We appreciate OB for being on here. You know, maybe on the next one he could come back. I don't know. I feel the same thing about Draymond Green.
He has that type of.
Yeah.
Same way.
Just have that face.
Dylan Brooks. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that dude is hilarious though.
That dude's terrible.
Yo, I like Ryan, man. I like what he was doing, but I didn't think he had a chance. Like I mean,
he's
I
still
think
young, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Really
like
young.
he's not as experienced as Tank, and that's why I thought Tank was gonna take it. Like I'm not saying he's not a good fighter. I'm not saying he's not skilled.
He had him for in a lot, like even that second round, he just got caught those times. I really believe it was like, oh, okay, but for the most part, he was doing pretty good. Like if you actually look back and see what he was doing, he got Tank a couple of times. It was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely did, but he has a habit of leaving himself open when he throws that left.
Yeah,
and Tank just knew it was coming, and it was the same exact shot. It was just placed, in two different places, man.
Yeah.
But did y'all hear there was a mole in his camp? There was like a spot. What's that about?
That had been going on earlier. Like Ryan had called it out a long time ago, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's just talk or whatever." But then dude actually came out and was like bragging about it. It was like some Asian dude that sparred with him.
Okay.
And he actually he hurt him in that area.
Yeah.
And that's why they're all thinking like, oh, he told Tank and Tank took advantage of it.
All
yeah.
right.
The CEO of TMT in a press conference, he said, "Hey, you have a mole. Like, we know what you're doing."
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was like, and then I thought I was like, oh, he's probably just saying that to get into his head. But then Ryan started saying like, yeah, there was actually a mole. I was like, dang.
Yeah, he went to Instagram, right, and posted it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, so I mean that confirmed it. Yeah.
And my friend
let me ask
Lester,
this, right? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, my friend Lester had mentioned, he had sent me a video about when you rehydrate, and you get hit with one of those shots, it makes it like 10 times worse than just like getting hit regularly. So he was
there was like a lot of stipulations too coming into the fight, right? There was like a lot of things that Ryan had to agree to,
in
order for it in order for the fight to actually happen, it was like something that Tank was like some crazy things that Tank was asking him for, which was like, wow.
Yeah. And he hasn't fought at 135 in like 2 years. So he was him going to that weight was like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
That's why I know everybody judges me because Ryan came out with Oceans and they're like, how can you go against a Christian? I wasn't going against him, but kind of like what Jimmy said, I just felt that Tank was just too experienced and there was too much going against Ryan for him to even win. You know what I mean?
That's not Christian. That's not Christian.
They're like, he came out in Oceans and he's praying. You have to root for him.
Hey, that was dope though. You gotta admit, he had some
was.
guts coming out to that song. I was like, yo, what is that? Oceans? Some people were like, yo,
and then your man came out with Chief Keef.
Fact, bro. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Ferraris and Porsches. Go ahead.
Wow, heathen. I asked Switch. I was like, so all this hydration clause and everything, and losing weight, all that. Like, it just seemed like it was just in favor more of Tank than on Ryan, right?
Oh yeah.
So why do you think that he even took the fight then like that? Like, if he knew,
but is that like,
bro.
Is that facts though? Like the hydration clause, like did they show that it's like proof, it's evidence?
That was a real thing.
I know they were talking about it, but like it's for real.
Yeah, it was in the contract and everything.
Wow.
Well, I think the thing is that Ryan doesn't fight in that division. They're fighting in Tank's division, or I believe a catch weight. So it's tougher for Ryan to rehydrate than Tank, because Tank is already fighting and comfortable in that size.
Yeah.
So they're like, he gave him these stipulations where you can't be a certain weight. I think it was the day of or the day after.
It was a day after, I think.
Yeah, the day after the weigh-in.
Yeah, they were like weighing in again the next day.
Yeah.
Or the day of the fight. I think it was the day of the fight, right?
Yeah, I think
it was the day of the fight. They did do a
weigh-in. After the weigh-in. So, and Bernard Hopkins even said himself, he's like, there's things in this contract that I wouldn't even agree to. You know what I'm saying? But Brian really was adamant about having this fight and making it happen for the fans. So, I mean, we won. It was a decent fight. I thought it was cool.
Who's we?
I know. I was like,
oh, you didn't like it? Yeah, I didn't like it.
No, it was a good fight. It was a good fight. I gotta admit, like they were both going at it, man. Like I was saying.
Yeah.
So it shows that Ryan wasn't that far off, bro. Like like a couple more fights, I really believe he'll be ready to fight him again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he has to fight in his division.
Yeah, bro.
Right.
Like this whole crap with that, like, nah, bro. That was.
He's too slim. He's too big to be fighting, and it's been too long for him to. That's the thing. A lot of people don't understand when these boxers they prepare for these fights and they drain themselves. It's hard to get back to that weight. Yeah, we all know how it is to lose weight. So imagine, when you're in sports.
My little brother is actually a fighter. He started with boxing, and right now he's doing MMA. But man, the amount of weight that I've seen this kid lose, the stuff that he's done, like the fasting that he does, and even like this dude goes running. I've literally gone to go eat with him, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna run back to the house," and I'm like, that's like he's running on the highway and everything. And it's like in Texas heat with a whole was it a sweatsuit on, like actual like the baggy sweatsuit that make you sweat crazy. And I was like running. I was driving the car and he was running while I was like just playing music so he can like
a Rocky movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like I had my hazard lights on the whole time and everything. It was crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, the amount of conditioning they have to do is insane, bro. It's insane.
Yeah. And Jared, with the whole Mo thing, Jared was mentioning that he was like that's what Mayweather's camp does. Like they have tabs on what you're doing, when you're training. who you
Don't
sparring with.
Don't even get me started on that fool. I don't even
It's like Mayweather's the CIA, man. That's wild.
That is crazy.
dude either,
That's
man.
why Tank kept saying, "Oh yeah, I know you got hurt with that body shot." He knows I know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Crazy.
Yo,
Now-
but that joint would have hurt anyway, man. You ever been hit in the solar plexus or in the liver, man? You know that joint hurt, man. Like you done.
Yeah, I don't think that takes away from what Tank was doing. I think
Yeah.
Tank was actually super
He did what he
sharp.
does.
Like
Yep.
he was at his best that I've ever seen him fight. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, when you cheating and you know every move that the
Oh,
dude does.
come on.
Of course.
Now it's cheating. That's
Right.
cheating.
Yeah. I mean, bro, you got little goons looking at his every move like TMZ. I mean, hey, that's
Yes,
cheating to me.
he's salty. Yo, the Bible says to be the salt of the earth, not salty, bro. Come on, man.
What about when
I
he
didn't
got
even
knocked down in the second round and the judges gave it one judge gave it a 10-10, I think, and a 10-9 when Ryan
What,
got knocked in
second
the second round. Yeah.
Yeah, because Ryan was winning that round. If you look at that round, Ryan was winning that round. He had him like hurt.
Fitch says no.
Hurt.
Yes, bro.
Hurt.
Yes, bro. Go back and look at that round. Just go back and look at that round.
I'm gonna have to revisit that. What I recall is that he was like, you know, he was doing the same thing De La Hoya used to do, was kind of get busy and flurries and stuff like that.
Listen,
like and really like
you know that Tank first round, Tank only threw 6 shots.
Right.
He landed 1.
Oh,
second round, he wasn't landing anything really. The only thing he really landed was that power shot that knocked him down. That was it.
That's what counted.
Yes, yeah, but still, that made it an even round. That he didn't win that round; it just made it even.
But aren't you when you get knocked down? Isn't it like you lose a point for that?
Yeah, but he was Ryan was like rocking him that whole round, bro. Go back and look at that round.
I could deal with a 10-9 is cool. But a 10-10, come on. Like you gotta
go back and listen to that. Go watch that round again. And you'll see like Ryan had him shook for a minute. And then when he got hit, it was like, oh, okay, there it is. It's even. That was easy. I was like, I know that people would have given it to him just because of a knockdown. But if you look like from a boxer's point of view and judge's point of view, they're taking everything in consideration. It's not just, oh, he knocked him down.
Right.
We as people that don't know boxing like that, we're gonna be like, that's the way we look at street fights. It's like, oh, he knocked him down. It's like, oh yeah, he took that one. But it's like in reality, like when you're looking at a professional fight, you gotta take everything into perspective. It's like when you look at UFC, dude can stand up with somebody, but as soon as he just takes you down and holds you, like he could end up winning the round if he just holds you the whole time.
Yeah, that's
but
the point.
He can't. Control. Yeah, exactly. So you got to look at those perspectives, man. But yeah, go look at that second round again, and you'll see like Ryan was getting them. It was crazy.
Yeah, because before he got knocked down, he definitely was like hitting him with a bunch.
He
of
had
punches.
him, and then not only that, when you look at Ryan, Ryan was controlling the ring the whole time. Tank was on the ropes most of the time, and Ryan was like trapping him. That's what like a lot of people weren't seeing, and I know everybody was favoring it. You from the commentators to everybody was favoring Tank. That's why y'all didn't look at Ryan. Y'all were looking at Tank the whole time.
Wow, looking at the devil the whole time.
I felt like Tank was just being more cautious and being, having a slow start, because Tank is always like that. He always has a slow start.
Just because you like him. That's the reason why.
Nah. Like I said, I was rooting for Ryan, but I knew that Tank. I felt like Tank is gonna win.
Cap.
And he caught him. He caught him with the same shot, man. You know what I mean? It was just placed in two different. You know what I mean? It was placed differently, and it's because Ryan always leaves himself open when he throws that left. Like that's a habit he has. People have talked about it. And he left himself vulnerable.
And again, go back and look at both of those rounds, and you're gonna see how Ryan was actually pressuring him. And he
was pressure. He definitely
both rounds. Both rounds. Ryan was actually doing good those 2 rounds, but the problem, exactly what you said, is that he left himself open when he starts to get into his groove, and and Tank is the one that caught it. You know, everybody else he's done that with everybody else that he's fought and knocked down and knocked out. But if like Tank is the only one that took advantage of like, oh, you know, he lets himself
Yeah.
open because if you look at Tank after the fight, he has bumps and bruises all over his
Oh,
face.
for sure.
Yeah.
Nah, he looked good. He was clean. He was dude looked like he didn't even fight.
He was ready for a photo
brother,
shoot.
He was ready
brother,
for another
brother,
fight.
Nah,
brother.
he got caught. He got caught one or two times, man. He
He
didn't look
got
like he was
caught,
ready
but
for a
his
photo.
face wasn't
My brother
like
in
bruised
Christ, you're wrong.
Yo,
I seen the guy's face. They both looked like they were fine.
Oki does not want to fumble the Ryan bag,
Yeah.
right? He's like, he's Team
Fuck
Ryan.
Ryan,
Hey,
Using my
listen,
videos to
Shout out to
Gervonta,
Tequila
bro.
1800.
I've learned. Shout out to some of my older people. I've learned not to say certain things or don't post certain things for that reason. Like,
let's
there's a specific artist. I won't say his name, but there's somebody in that we all know. He had a opportunity for McDonald's to do some like big promotion, big bag. But they went and investigated and saw that he had tweeted something years ago, tweeted something about McDonald's, and that was it. They said, "Oh
Yo,
no,
McDonald's
we're not
is
gonna
trash."
I don't say anything
You know what
about
I mean?
any companies anymore unless I
Yeah, I
really
hear you.
don't want to work with them. Like LeBron, I don't want to work with him. So I'm like,
Wow, LeBron, I want to work with you, so we're gonna make it happen.
Alex
called
Yo,
it-
what was that
already
artist's
got that
name?
on lock.
Yeah.
I can't say that.
Oh man.
But it was overall, it was a good fight, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it was a great fight.
Being that you said that, right? I wanted to know because I saw Ryan's podcast on Impulsive, right? And he mentioned they asked him, how much was the fight, and he said it was like, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just estimating because I don't remember the number, but it was like maybe $90 or $80, something like that.
For the pay-per-view?
For the pay-per-view, yes.
Bro, listen. So in order to get that pay-per-view, you had to have the DAZN. What is it?
DAZN, yeah.
DAZN.
Yeah.
I never knew what it was. DAZN subscription.
Yeah.
Okay.
The subscription first. It's like $30.
Okay.
So you have to have that. Then you have to pay for the pay-per-view. And the pay-per-view was 80. It was like 89
On top
or 80.
of that.
Yeah,
so
80
$90. Let's just say $90, right?
Yeah.
So when he answered that question, right, he was like, if the fans really want it, they'll pay the $90, right? But it seemed like Logan was like, it was too pricey, right? And I get it from their perspective, right? Because Logan has fought, Jake has fought, and they usually charge much cheaper, right? And they get a bunch of pay-per-view buys, right? So
wait, you talking about the Paul brothers?
Yeah, the Paul brothers. Yeah. So say again, Switch.
The goats.
Yeah, the goats. So
come on, bro.
I Google.
Look at Obi's face.
I Google, right? I Google. They did 1,250,000 pay-per-view buys.
They did.
And
The Ryan and Tank fight.
Ryan and Tank, yeah.
It was like the biggest fight of the year
Correct.
or whatever.
Yeah. So it seemed that Ryan was right in that people wanted to watch that fight, and they did pay. I guess that premium, right?
I'm gonna be real. I almost paid for it.
He said almost.
I mean,
almost. Well, did y'all pay for it? Yeah. That's
Well, I
what
went to my in-laws. My in-laws paid for
Am I
it.
being detained or am I free to go?
I didn't pay for it because I didn't watch it.
I like that.
But
Safe out right there.
yeah. But do you think so a lot of people were like, no, this is not worth it. This is too much money.
That's crazy.
But clearly, people thought, the majority of people thought otherwise. So what do you think? You think the $90?
I think people are cheap, bro. I think people are cheap. I'm cheap.
Okay.
So I'll say it. People are cheap because with Jake and Logan, that's just the dumbest thing for them to say. They're nothing compared to real boxers. They're just
Well, I'm thinking about.
influencers.
I'm saying it money wise, right? The amount of
Yeah,
pay-per-views they've had is crazy
bro.
numbers.
I grew up watching boxing. We would go. My parents. We would go to people's barbecues to watch Oscar De La Hoya and
Right,
Manny
right.
Pacquiao and Canelo. Like I grew up watching all of them, and and the pay-per-views were expensive. Like I remember we would host some of those parties, and my dad would be like, I gotta work overtime just to get the pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
And
right.
and we did it because like we loved boxing, and at those times it was like pay-per-view was like 60 bucks.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So you know, I can understand why it's like 80, 90 now. Like we're in a different era, different age. And so I mean, no, I think like for the experience of like if you have like a boxing, like you're hosting a boxing fight at your house, like that's such a fun experience.
Mm.
So anybody to like, you know, and those fights come around once in a lifetime.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's worth it, in my opinion. Like
Mm.
you're not gonna go get another crazy fight like that, other than like I don't know who else. Like those two names are big in boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's like when it's like a Mike Tyson and Vander Holyfield fight. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not something that you can that no there's not a lot of names that we know in boxing right now, other than
Right.
like a handful. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're like somebody who really follows boxing, then yeah. But if you don't follow boxing like that, like there's only a handful of people that you're gonna know, and if you just hear these names can fight, you're like, oh shoot, these two are gonna fight. Like this is actually something I want to watch. Like they gave the people what they gave us what we wanted, really, and I think it was definitely worth the money because it was a really good fight. So for Logan and Jake to say stuff like that, I think it was just dumb. I'm like, them dudes are probably like there, you know what I mean? Like actually paid the ticket price or whatever. So it's
Yeah,
dumb.
yeah, yeah.
Have y'all seen boxing ticket? Like how much they are?
Mm-mm,
Like
mm-mm,
for a fight?
mm-mm.
No
It's
idea.
insane, bro.
I'm always asking Boxing Bully to send me some free ones, but he won't.
You didn't even
You
get
know, that's a
you didn't
brother in
get
the Lord, and he still
a
wants
zone
in that.
subscription or nothing, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'll be like, yo, you gonna be in New York? I'll go to the Barclays. Oh no. He'll be like, yeah, just go online. Go get your tickets online.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right,
this
cool.
year's been a good year for boxing so far. I mean, you had Benavidez versus Caleb Plant.
Right.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get David Haney versus Lomachenko. They're talking about Spencer and Crawford, so it's gonna be a really good year for boxing.
Canelo's fighting too.
Yeah, Canelo's fighting in Mexico.
Oh, you had Jake and the UFC fighter. What's
Nate
his name?
Diaz.
Nate Diaz. But then now he got
He got
in
arrested,
trouble with
right?
he got a warrant or something like that for his arrest.
Didn't he choke
For
out some dude in the street?
Yeah, but that
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 was
dude,
hilarious.
that
I
dude
ain't
was
gonna
trying
lie.
to fight him though. Like, what's wrong
Yeah.
with that? You supposed to knock him out or allow himself to get knocked out? I don't understand that.
Not only that, he did this. He played the safe route. He just put him to sleep.
Yeah.
Because if he would have punched the dude, he probably would have killed him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Facts.
Crazy.
But
yeah.
trouble always follows Nate Diaz.
That's
Always.
true.
Those
true.
brothers are insane.
They just walk around just looking
They
to get
are
into a brawl.
trouble. They are trouble. I don't think trouble looks for them. I think trouble hides from them. Those dudes are trouble. You know what I mean? Them
Yeah,
and
that's
the
a good
cock and
point.
slap, you know?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, but what were you saying, Jay, about like the Paul brothers and everything else? You were gonna make a point. Nah?
Nah. Well,
Alright.
right now with the fights that are coming up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So with the whole Nate Diaz thing, then it looked like if Nate Diaz falls through, then it's gonna be finally KSI that fights Jake.
Nah, man.
Yeah. Crazy.
KSI
I'm
gonna
not
get
paying
beat
for
up.
that. I'm not paying for that, bro.
I don't care about any of those fights.
You're
The only time I care is when any of them get knocked
Lose.
out. I do not like those guys. I don't respect those dudes.
Dang,
he's not getting that Jake
harsh.
Paul bag.
Wow.
I can care less, honestly.
No Disney bags.
That's funny.
So
Shout out to
so
the
so you don't think that Jake Paul is really taking his craft seriously and trying to box? Like, because I mean, I've seen
good
him. He's
question.
not a bad boxer. You know, I mean,
Who has
he's
he boxed that's a boxer?
He's fought YouTubers and MMA fighters. Washed up
Who
MMA
has he
fighters.
boxed that's a
Oh,
boxer?
he fought Tommy Fury
That's-
the last fight
Yeah.
and lost.
Tommy Fury is barely a boxer and he lost. That's my point. It's like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna take it serious, you need to go in and then you get knocked out. You get knocked out. Like, that's the same thing. Stuff. I mean, I've seen that. Like, personally, like I said, I have a brother who does boxing and takes it serious, and he didn't go and like train for boxing and then go to like some other show up somewhere else to box. Like, he went to the Golden Gloves tournament and stuff like that. Like, there's things to do. Like, this dude is a self-proclaimed boxer. Like, he's not a boxer like that. Like, unless we see him really in a bout where he's really that's
Yeah, like
taking it
going up,
serious.
like going up the
Yeah.
ranks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
All
not him setting up a whole event and being like, this is the boxing match. It's like, bro, no, it's not. It's just a bunch of people like sparring at that point. Like, it's like if we go to each other's houses and be like, hey, let's throw the gloves on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing. It's like, these guys are not professionals like that. They're influencers. They're people that have a fan base, but they're not actual boxers. Like, they're not.
All right,
You know what I'm saying?
Who
Man,
should Jake
you going
fight?
in on Jay?
Who should Jake fight?
Yeah,
If he wants to take it serious, he needs to
Yeah.
fight somebody like a boxer, like an actual somebody
you
who's
have
been
anybody in
doing
mind?
this. Psh, I want him to fight Canelo so Canelo can beat the crap. out of him.
No, I mean that's too much.
Fight the biggest
Yo,
ness in
Hey,
boxing.
he
All right.
wants that.
He
He
does.
wanted
He
that.
does.
He
He's been
said, I
calling him
want
out.
Canelo.
Yep.
He's been calling him. Canelo's like,
Yep.
come on,
Yeah,
dude.
sure.
Don't waste my time.
Right.
Canelo would kill him in the first round, bro.
For
Yo,
sure.
but
Literally.
I
I can
promise
agree
you
with
that's
Murder
gonna be a
him.
big fight, though. I promise you
That would be a big
will
fight.
do numbers. That will do serious numbers.
But that's it. But that's
It'll be over in
anything,
the first
like,
round, though. Yeah.
anything is cheese, like anything with cheese man is gonna have
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
If y'all know what I'm talking about,
Mhm.
cheese man.
Yeah, for sure. Switch loves Jake, man.
I love
Bars and beats. What's up, man? I see you. He said Pacquiao
Yeah.
versus Paul.
I mean, crazy.
3K says Jay's about to mute OB's mic.
Yeah, we're about to cut
Bree.
this interview short.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Shout out
man.
to Bree-K. Facts.
Shout out to that. Shout out to everybody in the comments. It's lit in there.
Facts. You're getting a lot of
Bree-
love in the comments, man.
Thanks, man. Thank y'all. Appreciate everybody.
For sure. All right, what's next? What we
What
got?
you
Who else we talking about?
Who else we talking about?
Right.
Y'all want to talk about good credit gone bad?
What do you mean?
About your guy Biden? Allegedly, anybody who has good credit.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Then you're
Wait,
going
what?
through an FHA loan. You have to pay an extra up to $40, right? A month.
If you're like in the 700s, if you're in the 700s, you get penalized. You get penalized a point.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and if you're in the 600s, you get a discount. I think it was like 1.75, if I'm not mistaken.
So we're talking about home loans, right?
Loans, yes.
You're trying to buy a home, and your credit is over, I think 680. Is it? I could be wrong.
I'll pull it up right now.
But if you have good credit, and you're going through the FHA loan, not a conventional loan,
And you put 20% down.
they're gonna charge you some extra money on that. But if you have not so good credit,
You're gonna get a discount.
you're gonna get a discount.
Let's go.
Yeah.
For all my
That's
fiscally
crazy.
So trash
irresponsible
all
people.
your credit. You know what I mean? Start just trashing it.
Hey, both of these economies right now, bro. I'm in Canada right now, so it's like,
wow.
yeah, I live in Canada. I'm an American citizen, but I'm a permanent resident of Canada.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I got like almost like a dual citizenship. So that affects me too if I ever want to buy something in America. Because right now I'm buying in Canada,
Mhm.
but I don't know. Me and my wife are talking about different places too.
I saw Canada market is ridiculous right now.
Bro, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
It's worse than here.
Nah.
Yeah.
In ways, it just depends. It's pretty much the same because you got to understand, like when you see the market, and remember, like the conversion rate is a lot different too. So something that's like maybe 400,000 or something like that, for you guys it would be like 300, like almost 300,000 or something, maybe even 280 or 290 or something like that. So yeah, the conversion rate is a lot different as well, and then the percentages are almost the same in some ways. Like if you're like
For interest rate, right?
Yeah, interest rate. Sorry, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now in Canada, I know someone who said if you have like kids, they give you like this.
They give you a child tax benefit.
Yeah, so they give you bread like, every month.
Yeah, they give you like 500 to 600 per child.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dang, I'm moving.
It's up to their 18. Up to their 18.
Oh, good.
I got 5 kids.
So let's go,
bro.
It's baby making season. Yeah,
let's go.
I'm actually a stepdad of 4, and
shout out to the stepdad.
And then I got a baby with my wife. So
nice.
Awesome.
Nice. Wow.
Where in Canada are you?
I'm not gonna give you specifics. I'm actually I don't mind saying it. I'm in the Niagara region. I'm not gonna say what city, but
so you're literally right across the border, across the.
It's like 5 hours from me.
Yeah. It's I'm like 15 minutes from Niagara Falls.
Oh, okay, nice.
That's crazy. Nice. That's crazy how you went from the Texas border to the Canadian border.
I was like Texas, Oklahoma, and then I was in like Nashville for a few months, like 4 months. I was living there, and then I went back to San Antonio for a couple months before I got married and left. I came here. Been here since 2019.
What made you move over there?
My wife. She's Canadian.
Oh, nice.
That'll make you do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She was shout out Brie K. She was actually at my wedding. Her and Kasari.
Word.
Hey,
yeah.
They're
my homies, man. Brie and Kasari. I've known Brie since I met Brie back when we were doing the Andy Mineo competition, and I won that. But her and Kasari were like up there, because I was like going back and always listening to like other submissions, and I was like, "Yo, this is actually really, really dope." And I found out like she produced it, and then started following her, and I noticed that she was like producing, writing songs, like recording. Her and Kasari, I was like, "Yo, they're like really, really dope." And then we just connected. We all connected, and we just been friends since then. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah.
And when I got flown out to LA for I was doing a competition for Remy Martin, Big Sean, and DJ Mustard, which is not Christian. But I had won the regional division for my division in Texas, and they flew me out to LA, and I got placed top 5 in America, up and coming producers in 2018.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah, and Bree and Kasira were there. They picked me up from the airport. Me and my sister, we all went out to eat and everything. It was really dope.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So back to Biden, right? Well, not even just Biden, but just I didn't understand it, right? I don't have the best credit. I'm not going to sit here and lie and be like, yeah, I got 700, but I don't have the best credit ever. But
Get your house, boy.
I was shocked by this. I'm like, why? What's like, are we, because credit is based on, different factors, right? Like, are you paying on time? Are you in debt, right? And it can be a few different reasons, but I'm like, why would someone incentivize that? I don't get it.
Well, in a way, I think it's almost like a catch-22, don't you think? Like he might be going after like the rich people, right? Could you say like because they gotta have some good credit to be where they're at, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Sure.
So
yeah,
he could be trying to tax the rich into this whole situation, and it's a catch-22 because some of us are trying to get there. You know
right.
what I'm saying? Which is, let's be fair, it's probably like a lot of white people are getting taxed and they're probably mad.
But
Yeah, I
that's
don't know
why.
about
But
that.
that's why I felt like what if it would be different if it was based on income, right, rather than credit instead. Because like you got certain people that are middle class or even lower class who
The
they
middle
have good
class
credit.
always get hurt, bro. The middle
Oh
class,
yeah.
I would say, always get hurt. Like even out here in
Hmm.
Canada, it's the same thing. And yeah, and I hear you. Like, it is weird though. It is kind of strange just to kind of do that. It's like, wouldn't you want to kind of help those that are actually getting better in their credit, with their credit because they're not owing a lot of money? You
Right.
know what I mean? Like,
That would make sense, just because
it,
they're showing that they're fiscally responsible and they're paying their debts on time.
right.
So that's somebody you want to lend to, not somebody. I mean, and even like mid 600s isn't bad at all. I mean, you paying on time, you just might have a high to debt
Ratio.
income ratio. So maybe that's why your score is low. But it doesn't mean that you're not being responsible. And then the same thing, like you were saying, like this is maybe to target the rich, but just because you're rich don't necessarily mean that you have good credit. Sometimes you could be over leveraged.
So I
And
think,
that'll
but
affect your.
there was this stipulation though, right? You said it was if they had a specific loan.
Yeah.
Yeah, FHA.
FHA loan,
Yeah.
which
Remind
is
me Remind me of the FHA loan because it's different over here.
Jay would know more.
So FHA is the government backed loan where you can give as low as like 3% down
Oh,
payment,
that's
and
right. Okay,
they'll give you the loan
is that for
because
like
it's
first
backed
time?
by
Is that for
no.
first time home buyers or?
No, it's owner occupied.
Yeah, as long as
Mm.
you live in the property, you can get it if it's FHA. But FHA is just Federal Housing Authority or something like that,
Yeah.
which is just backed by the government. So let's say you
So
don't
it's a
pay,
government aid.
it's government backed mortgage. So they're
Yeah.
saying if you don't pay, we're gonna pay for the government
Well,
will pay for it.
that makes a little bit more sense because it's like maybe if they're expecting you to have if you have that much of a like a high credit score, then they're like, you know what, you really don't need government aid for this. Maybe
Mm,
you should be doing this like but in a different way of doing a loan. Maybe you should be doing it on your own.
mm.
Yeah.
Like a
It could be
conventional. Yeah.
yeah, because that would make more sense. Like we want to help those that have a poor score.
But they're high
That would
risk.
Right.
not a lot of people. Some are high risk in a sense. Yes, you wouldn't, but you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? Like because for me, I didn't know much about credit growing up. Like I didn't, a lot of Latinos. I would say a lot of us don't know about credit when we're growing up. A lot of our parents use our names for things growing up. So I mean, that's what happened with me. You know what I'm saying? I messed up a lot of my credit and it wasn't until I got married is when I started understanding my wife. Shout out, praise God for my wife. She's the one that like really told me
Facts.
you need to work on your credit, blah blah blah, and I've been, so um, I'm in that range of like it would be dope to get help in that sense, and some of us are actually working at that. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think we're as high risk as somebody with like a maybe 300 credit score or something,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Someone
sure.
said they don't teach us on it. I'm just now learning. They don't.
Hmm.
I didn't learn about credit in high school. I didn't learn about any of that.
That's
Yeah,
very true.
absolutely. Um, but in the perspective of whether you're a higher risk than a person who has 800, 900, who has demonstrated that they've been paying their bills and all that, right? Like, and I get it, right? Life happens sometimes, and
Right.
you lose your job, you fall behind on your bills and all that. I get it, right? But then there's other people who it didn't happen that way, and they've worked hard throughout their life to achieve, this arbitrary score, and now they're kind of like paying for somebody else who, just said, what the heck, I'm just gonna get everything possible under the sun with loans and then default or bankruptcy and all that stuff. So
Because
it's like,
FHA is also a way to give a less down payment, right? Because
But that's
yes,
why everybody is going for it. That
right,
makes sense
because you want to
it's a
put like 3 to 5%, and you don't
Right.
have the money like that. So
Yeah, some people don't have the money, but some people do have the money and they still want that discount.
correct.
yeah,
So that could be that's why I'm saying like people, it is like a catch-22 because some people are like, yes, we don't have it. And then there's some people like, yeah, we do have it, but we're just trying to get the discount.
yeah.
And some
Right.
people
Yeah.
just don't need it. And that's what I'm saying. So I think
And they might have the analytics to that, right? They might know.
yeah,
like,
and they might know. They
yo,
might
got
see
people that
like
have 720. They
homeboy,
probably have fit,
it's
whatever,
like
100K in the bank.
he's making like 500,000 a year. He should be able to afford this down payment and all that. So it's like
Yeah, but that's not something that happens like in the underwriting. That doesn't happen just based off of your credit score. You know what I mean? This seems like it's pushing
but
to
that's only
change
if you get
lending practices, and
yeah.
and if I mean honestly, if you don't have the down payment to buy a house, why are you buying a house? That's why you got bad credit in the first place.
Okay, Dave Ramsey, I hear you.
Nah, I disagree.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I disagree with you, Jimmy, because if I have 50 grand in my account to as a down
Sure.
payment,
Sure.
and I'm able to get offered, hey, you could buy the same house for 3 grand,
Sure.
like great. I could use my
Yeah, of course. Of course.
47,000 for something else. Why
Of
not take
course.
advantage of that?
Sure, that's not what I'm saying though. I'm saying because there was two scenarios that were presented. One was somebody who's rich, right? Because that they have a good credit score, that they have the money for the down payment, right? The other scenario was that they have bad credit and they didn't have the down payment to buy a house, and so the government is helping them. I'm saying if you don't have the credit or the down payment for the house, why are you getting yourself in debt? You know what I mean? Why are you putting yourself in this position, especially if like you're someone who, like us, came from a background who may not have known about credit, so you're still kind of learning how to manage and how to navigate through it all. Like, wouldn't it make sense to have that down payment, have some money like for contingencies just in case? You know what I mean? And in the meantime, work on your credit, build up that score so that you can get those better interest rates instead of like relying on the government to like give you a discount. And like Switch said, like people can make their credit score drop. Like, so if I got $500,000 in the bank account and I got a 700 FICO score, I can make my score drop to 650 to 625 easily. It's not hard. You know what I'm saying?
No,
It's not hard.
it's
So
not.
like people can still play the system, which
For sure.
it sounds like what a lot of people are kind of concerned about.
That's
Yeah.
why I said it would be better if it was based on income. 'cause
Right.
now you're really incentivizing, based off income rather than credit score. Because, you do have people that are middle class. Like
But
Obi
people
said.
lie on their income too.
Oh, yeah.
Like
But
tax
verify
season, bro.
that, though,
People,
don't they?
no, not unless you get audited. But people, you know how many people just say, "Oh, I made this much for on their for their income tax." A lot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
Oh, yeah,
people do
yeah,
that. Yeah.
But when they do the loan, don't they look at the W-2s and every? Or you're
But the
saying that they just
W-2,
lie?
yeah, they lie.
Okay.
If they lie on their W-2 and all that, it depends on like. But no, yeah, because even when you claim, and the reason I know is because
You got a plug?
not me, but not me.
Right.
But
Hold up.
growing
Let us know,
up,
yo. Side chat,
Think about
bro.
what you gonna say, brother. Think about what you gonna say.
growing up, I'm saying I know I'm trying. Like growing up, like I've seen it done. I've
Right.
seen it done.
For sure.
So
I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially
well.
when you have kids, like people do it for the sake of, and then even if you're married, people just say, "Oh, I'm separated." There's a lot of ways to get past a lot of these things, so you can get like even like the double income tax. Like some people I know personally, they do all that. You know what I'm saying? And And like, what's to say that these rich dude, like, I don't like Trump, but he's said it himself. Like, people evade taxes like nothing, you know what I'm saying, and know how to lie and know, especially all the people up there, they know how to do all that.
No problem.
That's why they're there. You know?
Yeah, taxation is stuff, man.
I do agree with
that. Yeah. LNF says, if you can't
do all that and still struggle.
If you can't put down 3.5, will you be able to handle the additional cost of home ownership? A lot to consider that no one tells you.
Facts.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Facts.
PK says do all. Oh, OB said do all that and still struggle.
Yeah, you know, because again, like I mentioned, you got to think about your contingencies. You might have HOA. You need insurance,
taxes.
Right?
There's so much.
All that. Like, first week I bought my house. I had leaky pipes. I had to call the plumber. First week, not even a week, as a homeowner.
Wow.
First month, I had to change the water heater. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro,
if you don't got 3.5%, man, you ain't got no business getting into homeownership.
My furnace went out, bro, and oh my goodness.
I hope it wasn't in the winter.
No, it was we had got back. We were last year. I was in the U.S. and we were there for like 6 months. We came back. There was a squirrel or chipmunk or something like that in our house. What? Yeah, bro. It got into our house, and the reason why I know it was a squirrel or a chipmunk is that they had walnuts inside, like where
they made a nest.
Yes, like where my dishwasher. They broke my dishwasher. They chewed up all the wires in the dishwasher.
Oh my goodness.
And then something happened with the furnace, and I came back. My whole studio was flooded. I had to I had to take everything upstairs. I redid a lot of the drywall in here. I got somebody to do all that. And it was like, I was like, what the heck? But like my furnace was shot. I was like, oh my gosh. I had to sell so many bees to get that mug.
Fire sale, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Everything but
when y'all see those bee sales, y'all know what's up. Like, it's like,
oh, he need a new furnace.
Yeah, yo, he hit a Remy Martin, he hit a Corona, he hit a everybody.
Yeah, have no idea how many people I hit up.
Yo, the West Side Switch got a bat and kept it.
Yeah, OB, I had a bat in my crib last summer.
Oh,
like,
word!
Out of nowhere, yeah.
Like a real bat, just hanging.
My wife would have flipped out, bro. She would have been like, "We're not living here."
It was creepy. Sell the house. It was creepy going to sleep with like, did we just have a bat in our crib? What was crazy was everything was closed. Like the doors were closed, everything was closed. But like, how the heck did the bat come in the house?
Everything things like that sneak in, bro.
Yeah.
Like they're just rowdy. Like everybody, like because we live out like in there's like a lot of fields out here, and so like there's a lot of ranching, like not too far from here. So like things come in all the time, man.
Everything.
Yeah. My wife's like a city girl. She was born in like the Toronto area. So like they're not used to all that. She's not used to all that. When we went down to Texas, she was freaking out seeing some of
the bugs.
Like, the bugs, bro. Yeah. Just the bugs. The spiders always like, babe, there's a tarantula in the and I'm like, where? And then I'm going, bro, it's the smallest spider I've ever seen in my life. She's like, look at the centipede. It's like a little thing that, and I'm like, because I'm from Texas, so like the centipedes are like big and ugly.
Right.
She would freak out, man.
I can imagine. That's like so my family's from El Salvador, man, and they got flying like roaches and stuff like that, man.
Oh yeah.
We do too. DR
yeah, you had
Texas,
that.
Texas got that.
Bro.
Texas got that.
In Texas too?
Yeah.
Oh, nah, bro. I'm good, bro.
Bugs, no?
What's funny is like when you're going to try to kill it and that junk like just fly right at you. Hey, bro.
I can't, bro. I can't. I'm gonna be running, bro. That's it. I'm leaving a 1-star review on Airbnb and all that. Yo. We're not doing that, man. That's America, people.
You're gonna mess up the guy's 3.5 FHA mortgage payment.
It's hilarious.
So OB, do the bugs bother you like maybe some artists do in your DMs? Like they spam you like that?
Bro, yeah, no, I had one
What happened?
today. Oh my gosh.
What
You have one
happened?
bug or one artist?
Both. He said both.
Both, yeah. I had one today. It was
What type of messages you be getting?
I get it's people are weird, bro. Like they're just
Facts.
like within, and I don't want to say it's just Christian hip hop because like I get like people who are not Christian either that just hit me up, and it's just funny, man. Some people there's a lot of entitlement. There's a lot of people that think that, oh, just because I can hit you up in a DM, they think that they automatically have access, and I have to say yes to this, or
Right.
it's a lot of weird stuff. Then people who are shady too, man, that lie on you and all this stuff. It's a lot of stuff. I had that whole situation today. Somebody lying on me. It was it was
Lying on
just
you online or just
oh he hit somebody else up, another artist who's a really popular artist.
Oh, like Drake?
No, he had like one of our like in our circle.
okay.
Oh, okay.
And
Like Drake.
in that range,
This is
I would say
right.
in
There's
that
only two
I
big
would say
artists.
in that range, I would say that.
Okay.
And they're hitting me up like, "Yo, who is this?" and showing me screenshots, and I'm like, "What? What is he saying?"
Wow.
And after me and this dude like squashed everything, and it
Mhm.
wasn't even like really anything squashed. It was just like this dude
You just
hit
cleared it
me
up.
about
Yeah.
it was like we cleared everything up, and we did this a year ago,
Wow.
and he hits up exactly almost a year to the date today. It's like,
He
what
scheduled
are you
that.
talking? Yeah, bro. And then when I hit him up, when I hit him back up, I'm like, I called him. So for me, I love confrontation in that sense. Like,
Right.
I want to confront this, and
Mm.
and I want to get down to the bit. I will call you. We can talk on the phone and hash it out. I did that. This dude's ignoring me, ignoring my call. I'm like, dude, you had the,
Yeah, you had the
to
nerve.
go
Yeah.
go and hit my boy up and gripe about me to him, but you can't even answer my call.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just
Yeah,
like,
that's corny.
and not only that, he was lying. He was just lying. And then I find out from that artist, my friend, he was like, dude, I've dealt with this dude before. He's weird. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh, I just blocked him. And then I was like, because for me, I don't have, I'm gonna protect my peace. And I've
Facts.
already come to that
Conclusion?
that point in my
Mhm.
life where I'm like, none of this bothers me anymore. I've
Mm.
gone through so much in my life so far that I'm like, if I let this thing, I'm not gonna die on that hill. Like,
Right.
what for? Like,
Mhm.
I have like, I'm good. Like, if God is not convicting me, if I'm like not getting hit up by my pastor, if my wife's not hitting me up or anything like that, and if it's not like my solid brothers who are in my circle
Right.
hitting me up, then I'm straight. Why
Right.
am I gonna be like throwing anxiety around or having anxiety over and that's my thing is like I deal with all that already, anxiety, depression,
Right.
all that,
Right.
that I'm like, I'm not gonna give it time of day,
Yeah.
so
Especially on a dude that's lying on you, right? So it's like,
yeah, I'm like, dude, we talked about this. I was like, I just told him like, all right, bro, it's cool. I just said that and I was like, grace and peace to you and yours. And then I blocked him.
respectfully.
Yeah,
Respectfully,
respectfully. Exactly. I was just like, bruh.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Where do you think that comes from? Like when it comes with artists, right? That just feel like spamming. Like we get spam. Like they're just literally DM and put that they put a music video out or their song, and it's like, but we've never spoken, you've never interacted with our account. Like, where do you think that stems from? Where people just want to send it out to like as many people as possible?
Well, people are excited. That's the first thing. I used to be annoyed by it. Now I'm like, I understand that they're excited. They're doing everything they can to promote. I get it. But if y'all guys are like, if you guys like Rapzilla does, Rapzilla puts up like, hey, we have a submission, like email. Do it all through here. I get a lot of people hitting me up like, hey, how do I get Rapzilla to do this? And Rapzilla, I'm like, bro, I'm not Rapzilla. Like people keep I tell them like, I'm not Rapzilla. Go to their website. And I get it. Like people sometimes don't know, and I get that. But if you guys are actually like, hey, hit me up through here, and y'all say that, and y'all have like a website or whatever it is, like an email that you guys throw up, then sometimes some people just don't get it, but sometimes people are just like, they don't care at this point. They don't even care about your platform. They just mainly care about themselves. So it's like, man, I want my song to be played. It's like, okay, bro, go about it the right way. Just go about it the right way.
Right.
And that's usually what I tell people. I'm like, if they hit me up, some people I just ignore it just because I'm like, it's just, I get a lot of messages.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like there's things that I'm like, I'm not even, if I already see like a link just barely
YouTube
in
link.
if it's just a link that I see already, like within, because you know how you don't have to click into the email or the message or whatever. You can just already see what it contains in that message.
Delete.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even delete it. I'm like, all right, whatever. I already know what they want. I'm just leaving it alone. I'm leaving it unread. And I see how people are, because some of these people, I'll even see if they're following me. They follow me. Some people I give it the time of day. Some people, they'll be following me, and then like later on they hit me up again or whatever. And I see, and then they're not following me. I'm like, I know what you wanted. You just wanted my platform, or you wanted me to just help you out or do it. Because I've had so many things like that too, where I've helped people out and then they unfollow me, and I'm like, I don't understand.
Right.
But it's weird. It's weird energy. The only time I unfollow people really is just if like you're weird, or I don't mess with you like that no more, or just keeping my distance, whatever. So it's weird whenever I see people unfollow me, and I'm like, bro, we had like long conversations, and you were asking me for all this advice, and then now you're not following me. It's like,
now, what about the people that send you the link and then they want to follow up and be like, hey, bro, you checked it out? What do you think?
Well, I tell everybody that I tell that tells me, hey, check it out, check this out. I'm like, hey, bro, send it to Critique Fridays. That's where I check everything out.
Right.
That's where I like pay for my time. At least I respect that. Respect that, to pay for that time, because it clearly you're hitting me up because you respect my opinion. I know what I'm saying. That I can help people, bro. Like, I have a track record of people that I've helped. I've had a track record of people who have gotten signed. I have a track record of people who've gone from 50 monthly listeners to 50,000. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've been able to do that. So I understand, and I know that my talent is worth it, and my time is worth it, especially with me being a father and a husband, and I own my own business and all this stuff. Like it's I don't have a lot of time like a lot of people think. And so like when I say, hey, like I have people I love and I respect so much, when they hit me up and they're like, hey bro, I want to pay for your time. How much will it cost for you to give me a one-on-one critique? Like that right there, I'm like, yo, I will schedule you in. We will do a Zoom call one-on-one, and let's sit down and we'll talk. And I've done that with, like, I've done consultations with people, man. Like the amount of people that I've done that with and help them out and do whatever I can to give them an advice. I love those people. I respect those people a lot. So
yeah. And I know we had Justin on before, and he had mentioned that Rapzilla gets like a bunch of submissions, right?
Bro, the heat, the work that Justin puts in himself.
Yeah.
I remember when I stayed with all three of them. It was Justin, Steven, and Chad, and we were at A3C, and they let me stay with them because I was doing the Critique Fridays live. So it was like a Rapzilla house, and I was there with them, and bro, the amount of work all three of them were doing, it was like, whoa, like it was just them three running that whole website, bro. It's just crazy.
And people just think that, oh, I'm the only one that's sending you a link. Like, no, there's a lot of other artists that are sending it.
Dude, the amount that Justin gets in a day. It's insane. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, for sure. So you have any advice for artists? I know you kind of mentioned it, but what's like follow the right steps? What would you recommend to
Yeah.
any artists?
Well, I would say the biggest thing is like respect people, man. Like respect people, especially people that you're looking up to, people that you're hitting up. Remember, you're asking for something. So it's like if you got to pay for their time, pay for their time. Then there's nothing wrong with that. Like because some people are not, you don't know their lives, you don't know how like these people are not just AI or machines, you know what I'm saying? Like these are real people with real struggles, and like life happens. I like, bro, I don't know you guys personally, but I know y'all got lives, you know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
know y'all probably have stuff that you don't put out to people, um and personally, and y'all go through it just like for
Right.
me. I'm like, some people just think I'm like some kind of beat machine sometimes, and I'm like, bro, like I have kids recitals that I gotta go to. There's my
Responsibilities. Yeah.
son might get sick, or my wife goes through this, and or I'm going through this personally. Like it's just sometimes y'all gotta, like, it's just patience is a big thing.
Mhm.
And doing everything you can to just respect the artist, and don't take it personally. Like I think a lot of artists today take things personally, like, oh, he didn't hit me up, so he don't like me. Or well, it's like, dude, like don't do that. Don't take it
Right.
personally. Like because that's the same thing that happened with me. Like I personally had, like, coming up into this, I didn't get mad when nobody hit me up. I just knew that, for me personally too, I got told this one time, like, hey, I know you're hitting people up, and they might not be hitting you up, but just keep making noise, not like in their DMs, or just like keep doing you, like making your music, and they're gonna be the ones knocking on your door.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what happened with me. Like the people that I would send beat packs out, bro, I didn't even know. Like people were hitting me up like, hey, I got your number from such and such. Like, yo, can you do this? Can you want to go on tour with me? Blah blah blah. It's like it's just a matter of time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's one reason why I created Critique Fridays, is
For
so
that.
that people, yeah, for that, because it was like that's the best way to even get noticed. Like, you know how many like Rapzilla freshmen that are like killing it right now, that are now like came from Critique Fridays, is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Some of
you
these guys are having their own festivals. It's insane.
now correct me if I'm wrong. You be on there hours.
I
Oh,
used
it's
to.
a
Or used to be.
marathon. It's a
Used to.
marathon,
Because we
bro.
used to be
I
like, yo, OB's still on. Like,
Yeah, I used to, and that was actually a really bad choice for me, because I was doing that for years, going on that late. And
how many hours on average?
well, I would start at 8 o'clock, and I would the latest I've in was like 4:30 a.m.
Yo.
Wow.
Yeah, so now I cut it off at midnight. I cut it off at midnight.
Okay.
I told myself I gotta like protect my mind.
Mhm.
And even if that means taking less submissions, that's cool. Because I love taking all the submissions. I loved it. Like I actually enjoyed doing it at times, and most of the time I was like enjoying it. And there was times where you would hear me go off and on rant, and it was because I was really going through it, like in my mind.
Yeah.
And I realized a lot of reason why I would talk a lot on that show, as opposed to like even um critiquing sometimes, like you'll hear me go on this long rant, was because I was really hurting inside, like mentally. So I
Mm.
was like venting a lot on the show, and that was like my place where I would do that.
Oh
Right.
wow.
So yeah, and I didn't know that, and I started seeing that like as I've been going to like therapy and stuff now. It's like now I'm like, okay, I gotta protect that time for me, so I can be able to get up still in the next day and be with my family. Like there were so many Saturdays, bro, where I was just laid out because I was up all night, like doing the show,
Yeah.
and I couldn't be with my family. And that's a time where I usually spend. I don't work on the weekends. I set that slot for them all
Mhm.
day. Them that I was like, okay, I couldn't even spend that Saturday with them just because I was so tired. So I had to learn how to set boundaries for myself and stick by them and say no say no. Like
Right.
literally learn how to say no. Like
Right. Where did the creation for Critique Fridays, like, how did that start? How did that come about?
I did it on I used to do it by myself on my Facebook. And it started getting flooded, man, by a lot of people. I did this like back in 15. No, 2016. It was like 2016. I was doing it on my own. And later on, I was like, man, I was getting a lot of people like just hitting me up. And I was doing it like just to whenever time I wanted, and it was fun. It was fun. And then I brought it to Rapzilla and talked to them about it in 2017. And that's when we're like, oh yeah, that would be great. Like, let's just do a test run. And then the amount of people that started hitting us up was insane. So, and again, like my whole thing was like, I wanted to bring, like shine a light on all these artists. Like I wanted to shine a light on producers, artists, and all these people, because I knew like for me, I wanted that. I got that opportunity with Rapzilla. And by the way, shout out Rapzilla, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have a career like coming into this thing. Not through Critique Fridays, but just being a producer. Like they gave me an opportunity with the remix competitions. They gave me an opportunity with the beat battles. Like those were the things that like shine the light. Like I loved when they did that. So I was like, man, I want to be a part of that, because there's a lot of Christian hip hop artists and producers that don't know how to really promote themselves, or even a lot of people. There's a lot of music that was like, there's a lot of corny stuff that we need to address. I'm like, we need to address this. Like, how can we not sit back? How can we just sit back and be like, how can we sit back and just let our brothers and sisters that we call brothers and sisters just go on and make mediocre content? And not only that, why are we how even fans, like how we are giving this to, like, because when we first got saved, and I could pretty much attest to everybody, when we first got saved, how many of us like stopped listening to the music that we listened to? How many of us threw out CDs and shirts and merch and stuff that we just threw away because it was like, man, I want to give everything to Jesus, right? And then we find a substitute for some of these things, which is like, oh, Christian rap. But if we're settling for it because of the content, because we know it's like, oh, the gospel's in this, we hear Jesus in it, but we're settling. Sometimes we've settled for like mediocre stuff that's really cheesy. And I'm like, man, we should not be giving that to the fans either, because some of these guys are really like new Christians, and they just want something that has Jesus in it. Let's give them like the greatest thing we can give them. Let's give them great art. Let's give them, on top of that, like the gospel message. You know what I'm saying? So let's push for that. Let's really teach each other how to do that. So, and that's what I do. That's what I wanted to do within Critique Fridays. I don't want us to settle for, I want us to keep pushing that bar, man, and creating bars like for the next generation. You know what I'm saying? And then giving, not only that, giving mainstream music a run for their money, man. Like, like the way it was in 2012, 2013, when Christian hip hop was, it was like 2014, right? 2013, 2014, when it was at its like crazy peak with Collision, with Reach, with Lamp Mode, with Humble Beast. Like, oh my goodness. RMG
was like you think that was like a peak right there?
I think it was a crazy peak. Like, we had so much like dope talent that was like being showcased. And like, bro, like Lecrae, the Unashamed tour was selling out stadiums, bro. Stadiums.
Wow.
It wasn't like the way it is now, where it's like, it's venues. They were setting out crazy stadiums.
Yeah,
I remember, because I was going to those concerts, bro.
right.
I remember seeing Propaganda, Thizzle, and all them like opening for Lecrae and the 116 crew. It was like nuts.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to really like help us be that way still, and I feel like I've been able to like help people like Miles Minnick, Curtis Hoppy, New Tone, like 350, Swayze. I can keep going down the list of just different people, artists that Mike Teasy now is one of them. Scooty Wop, Big Breeze. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The amount of artists that I love personally, like all these guys, seeing them like flourish now and killing it and working with like all these different people getting signed. Oh my goodness. It's so like it's great because I'm like, yo, we have this in Christian hip hop.
Yeah.
Like it's not impossible. It's possible. Like Scooty Wop just got signed to Sony. Like that's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's really possible for us to really be able to do that. And I'm just trying to push people to do that. That's all Critique Fridays is for.
And have you had artists where you critique them and they took it in a positive way? And there's also the opposite where they took it in a negative way. I'm sure.
Come on, man. Happened. You know that.
But anyone that
6 or 7 diss tracks, bro. I'm not joking. Real talk.
Like real diss tracks towards you over your critiques.
Oh yeah, I've had people. When was
and they send it to you? That's crazy.
Oh, bro, they pay me to critique my own diss track. I'm not joking. Like this is a real thing. And I remember when I was critiquing. It was last year. I was down in Florida. I was at KB Studio because he let me use it for Critique Fridays. And
flex on them.
Oh no. Like KB's a homie. He's really dope. But KB had let me use the studio. And Dayton came through, and I had him as a guest on Critique Fridays. And I remember, like, this dude paid for me to critique, and we had our mics muted because, like, we were listening through the big speakers. And then all of a sudden, I'm hearing it, and it's like, I'm like, he's talking about me. He's even like mimicking me. He's even like trying to pretend like it's me. And then like Dayton just looks at me. He's like, "Don't say anything. I'm gonna talk." I was like, "All right."
That's a great impression. That's a great impression.
I was like, all right, I literally unmuted the mic after the song finished, and Dayton just went in, called the dude prideful, everything, and just told him like, you're so arrogant and very entitled to think that like to feel the way that you just felt and pretend, and then try to write it off as like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to encourage people. Like, no, man, like it was
right?
Yeah, bro. So everybody that has dissed me says the same thing. Everybody is, oh, I'm just trying to encourage everybody to keep going. And it's like, come on, bro. Come on. You know how many of those dudes have hit me back like a year later telling me, bro, I'm so sorry.
I was
out
of line.
God really convicted me. Quite a few have hit me. Like, bro, I've had animosity towards you, blah, blah, blah. Like,
wow.
Because of it, and God convicted me. And it's like, dude, that's why I feel like a lot of these things I don't have to respond to because I know God has my back, bro. You know how many times he's convicted some of these dudes that they just came to me. I ain't got to say anything. They just came to me. Even in venues, some people have came to me and said, bro, I'm sorry. And I'm like, bro, there's no hate towards any of y'all. Like, I love y'all. That's the reason why I'm telling y'all the truth. That's the reason why I'm saying, hey, you got to work on this. That's the only reason why. If I didn't care about you, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is great. Let me keep putting it on the playlist. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, no, man.
And on the opposite end, right? You had artists that you critique that you probably seen growth, right? Where you're like, bro, this guy in a year or a couple months is.
Bro, there's one that I'm working with right now, Ray G, man. Shout out to my brother, Ray G. This dude, man, when he first came, I was like, man, he needs a lot of work. This dude's getting sync placements. This is the Houston Astros sync placement that we got was with him.
Wow.
And it's like, bro, a year later, this dude's like killing it. New Tone. Y'all know New Tone, right?
New Tone, yeah.
Bro, when he first started, this dude was trying to sing on his hooks. So I was like, bro, what are you doing? New Tone, a year later, bro, he's in his bag killing it. It was insane. Curtis Hoppy was another one. where a year later he was like going on tour with no big deal.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like the amount of people that I've been seeing growing from this. I'm just like my mind's blown, man. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful because I'm like, I know that God's doing the work there. I know that I see the fruit coming. That's why I don't care what all these dudes. I laugh now. I'm like, all this dude's dissing me. I was like, that's cute. Like I'm like because like for me, yeah, it's like I'm like for me, I'm like, I you'll see like and I'm hoping and praying that this just filters out the ones that are really cut out for this because if you let this bother you, you're not ready for the music.
No.
Oh yeah.
The music industry is way, way more cutthroat than you think I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm being really nice to a lot of people compared to people that be like, nope, next. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, nah. They need to go look at some comments under World Star or something like that, bro. Like they will eat you up alive, pause.
this dude said pause.
For sure. we I want to talk about this, and if it's cool, you had put out a tweet, right, and just saying like some things that you were going through, right, and it was a shocker for everybody in a way, at least for me, right?
Oh yeah,
we don't know you personally, right?
It wasn't just you; it was everybody.
A lot of people were like, "Whoa, what?" And can you speak on that, like a little bit of what was going on?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, man. Over the course of a couple of years now, I would say it was like it definitely started in 2020 was when I was starting to spiral into a dark place. Um I was numbing everything. So in 2020, me and my wife we lost a baby. And
Oh man.
yeah, my wife was 4 months pregnant and it was the worst, probably one of the worst. It was definitely one of the worst days of my life. Because it plays back in my head constantly. Just from when it all started to like um the next day. It's terrible. I don't want to go too much into detail
Of course.
of that, but yeah, it was so hard. And for me, um I was doing everything I can to push my feelings to the side and be there for my wife. And I did all that like with the mindset of like she went through it the worst in my mind. Um and and I was ignoring a lot of my feelings and not really venting it to people and just kind of like holding it in. So like I felt like I never really got to grieve. Really never really got to grieve properly over that situation. And then from that, me numbing that and I live with my wife or me and my wife live together who we have a blended family, so it's it's really tough being a step parent.
Yes.
Not everybody's cut out for it. No,
Mhm.
like I would say like really um you got to really think about when you're going into a relationship with someone. I would say I would not recommend it, but I would say I would not recommend it, is what I'm saying.
Right.
But you really gotta
Be
have
ready.
hair on, yeah,
Mhm.
you gotta really have hair on your chest, man, in order to really step into that. Um so and mind you, like all four of her kids they're teens. Two of them are twin girls. And it's something else, man. Raising teens is a whole
Oh yeah.
different story.
It's
I got a
rough, yeah.
16-year-old. I know.
And especially when they're not yours, like it's tough, and especially when they just don't like you because you're with their mom.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want you in their life. Like that stuff really was going on in my life, and with all that situation with us losing our baby and me still learning how to be a dad, a stepdad at that, it had been really, really tough, and I was holding in a lot. I numbed a lot, everything I was going through. I was numbing it all, and I started. It turned into like really, like I was starting to by 2020 by the end of 2021 into 2022, I was starting to disassociate. I was starting to disassociate from my family. I was starting to disassociate from myself.
Wow.
By the beginning of 2022, I was on autopilot. I couldn't even. I felt like I was not. I was just working and living and being a father, being a husband, but I wasn't even in control of myself. I felt like I was literally right here watching myself do everything.
Wow.
Yeah. When we were traveling down to the states, me and my family, I took them down in 2022. We went on like a 6 month trip, and we left Canada. We came down to the states. That's kind of where, if you ever saw Critique Fridays that year and last year, I was like in a different city almost like every Friday.
Mhm.
I was like in Atlanta at the Reach Studios, and in Florida at KB Studio, and like Louisiana and Texas, and just different places. I was in different places with different people, and I was in Philly at one point too. So I was like in all these different places, and but during that time, and nobody knew this. During that time, I told myself I was saying goodbye. I was saying goodbye to everybody.
Wow.
Um, like even going down to Texas, I was like hanging out lot with my friends, and my wife was like, "You keep going out with your friends, like what are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, just I miss them." But like in my mind, I was like, "I'm saying goodbye. Like
Wow.
this is gonna be the last time I really see everybody." Because towards the end of the year, I was already like, I'm done. I'm
Mhm.
done. I don't. I felt like I pushed my self esteem was not there. No self esteem whatsoever. Um, I didn't care about myself, so that meant I didn't care about anybody else. If I didn't care about
Mm,
myself, if I didn't love myself, I didn't love nobody else.
mm.
My wife felt it, the kids felt it, everybody felt it, and the only ones that didn't were like, because when you do online, you don't put up the bad stuff. You don't.
Right,
You
right,
don't.
right.
Right.
Everybody thinks that's why social media is not real,
Hmm.
because everything that you see on there is just of what everybody wants you to see. That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why everybody, when they hit me up and when I posted that, everybody was like, "What?" And my wife too. She didn't know. It all came out like towards the end, like in November. By November of 2022, I was already contemplating like how I was gonna do it, like how I was gonna commit suicide. Um,
Was this your first attempt?
no, when I was it was well, I guess first official attempt, yes.
Mhm.
Like back then, I had the thoughts of
Yeah.
wanting to,
Okay.
but this was like my first attempt. Um,
So the depression you kind of struggle with before this situation as well, right?
yeah,
Okay.
I struggled with this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I had abuse growing up. Um, from like the age of 10 all the way to like 18, I was like physically abused. I have insomnia now. Like I can't sleep because like growing up, I was always afraid of that person coming in and trying to beat me in the
Mhm.
middle of the night.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I never slept. I never slept. Even it was even to a point now, like my wife in 2022, my wife was like it was like she was there'd be times where I'm just there and I'm chilling, and then all of a sudden I just feel her go like push me and wake me up, or like push me like, and I look at her like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "You're snoring," and I'm like, "What?" And I was like, "I'm right here. I'm paying attention. We're like, I'm right here." She's like, "You're snoring. You're asleep." And I was like, "What?" And even in like in church, it was happening. Even in at the light, I would be at a red light. I'd be knocked out. I didn't even know.
Wow.
I had 2 car wrecks. I was like one of them might have been because of that.
Mm.
Yeah, bro. Like there were so many situations where that was happening, um, and it was because I felt like, and not only that, when I would sleep at night, and it felt like I would blink and I would be up the sun was out.
Right. No
If
rest.
it, I was always like tired, but like I would still go to sleep, but I would still be tired. Like I would be drained, exhausted. And my wife would always be like, "Man, you sleep a lot," and I'm like, "I feel like I don't." And even at times when I would be asleep, I feel like I can hear conversations going on. Like my wife would be having a conversation, and I would literally be answering her while I'm asleep.
Wow.
It was like that. It was that crazy. Um, and so by the end of November, going into December, I was already like, man, testing things. Like I was walking on bridges, like literally, I was going to a bridge, walking, hanging off. Like my wife didn't know none of this. I was looking around, like even in our house, to see what would be able to support me to like hang myself, all this stuff. And when it finally came out in December, we had like, it was just like I had a big meltdown, and I went into a hospital. I was there, and I was doing bad. It was still bad while I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
And on on New Year's Eve, like I fully attempted,
Yeah.
and while I was in the hospital, and I was already out almost. Like yeah, I was already out. I was already like, my eyes were closing as everything was happening, and I just remember a nurse coming in and picking me up, and that was pretty much it. I woke up in like a room, and everything was yeah, crazy after that. Like I
Yeah.
felt like after that, slowly things started getting different. I think there's something that really happens to you when um something really happens to you when the hand that tries to take
Mm.
um so I felt like God really like was starting to speak to me during that time. Even though it was like, even like, man, me and my brother Dylan Chase, he did this song that always speaks to me, and it says like, even in the dark I know that you are God. And that was like something that I was starting to see with when I was in that darkness. I was really seeing God, which is
Right.
crazy. I never thought I would be able to see God like that. And yeah, so now, I mean, I'm taking it day by day.
Yeah.
I'm on medication now. I'm in processes of like doing therapy and all that stuff too. And there's like a huge wait list here in
That's
Canada.
good.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, it's just like I'm going through all that. I have like people that I'm calling and everything and talking to. It's a lot more different now, and I'm
Yeah.
actually getting some sleep now, which is great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Sleep is
yeah,
always good.
yeah, and and I'm working out now too. I'm down 40
I saw
pounds.
that. I
Let's
saw that. I saw you on your
go.
Instagram,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
You was in the gym. That's really good, man. Because that
Yeah.
definitely like I'm not saying don't take medication, but it definitely helps with depression. I know with
Oh
myself,
yeah.
I've struggled with depression in the past too. And it is definitely helpful, especially even like your eating habits too.
Oh yeah,
I
bro.
noticed
It's
like when I
changed
eat
a
junk
lot.
food, yeah, when I eat junk food, man, I have no motivation whatsoever, man. I just want to crawl in
Yeah.
bed and just, so you said this you had an attempt on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, man. I do. I did.
So
Um,
you were in the hospital at this time already, right?
yeah.
Because I remember you
I did it in the hospital.
because I remember you tweeted like around Christmas time, and you said you were in there because you had attempted already. So this is your second attempt.
Yeah, it wasn't a full attempt though
Yeah,
on Christmas time.
yeah.
It was like, I was wanting to, like I was hanging off of a bridge,
Hmm. Yeah.
and So I was like playing with it. I was
Gotcha.
playing with death. And then
Gotcha.
like on New Year's Eve, I actually did it. I actually did it.
Wow.
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 Yeah.
This man, like how, like I know we're not in your circle or anything like that. But like how do like we tap in with brothers like in our circle and stuff like that, and like really find you, because you know how guys are, man. Yo, how you been, man? How you doing? Yo, I'm
I'm
good. You know
good.
what I mean? I'm
Right.
good, bro. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like for
And
me,
see,
I don't want to worry nobody about something that I'm going through, just because I feel like, me personally, I feel like I can handle it. Like I've never been in your situation, bro. You know what I mean? I don't understand what that's like, and I
yeah.
definitely, I want to understand, and I want to be sympathetic, and I really want to be there for, like, my brothers who do go through stuff like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
It's like, how do you like pry into somebody and really like, come on, bro, you're not all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how does
Yeah.
that
If
conversation
you
go?
if
Like,
you
how?
see
Yeah,
it, so you gotta. There's signs. There's definitely signs when people when they are like when you notice that they're not really like hanging out with anybody and stuff like
right.
that. It's like some people are very anti-social though. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They're
That's me.
very
That's me.
yeah, they're very introverted. But um the biggest thing is always trying to make yourself available, and not being because it's tough, man. It's really tough. Like it's a really hard situation for some people because some people be saying stuff.
Mhm.
Like I know some people have said stuff at church in front of me that made me kind of withdraw completely where I'm like, I don't even
Mm.
want to say anything in front of this person anymore. Like
Okay.
anytime they ask if I'm okay, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. Cause I've
Wow.
been where I've been vulnerable to people where I'm like, where they've asked me like, hey, how are you doing? I'm like, not good. Like I straight up
Yeah.
said it like at
Yeah.
church, not good. And I'm really going through something. I'm really going through a season. I'll say that.
Hmm.
And this one person was like, well, get out of it. when when
Yeah.
they
Right.
said that to me, that was literally uh a day before. That was literally the day before I went and started hanging myself off a bridge. Like
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the next day I went and was
I'm ready.
like
Yeah.
yeah. So that's where you got to be careful, man, because a lot of guys, a lot of men, we struggle so much.
Hmm.
There's so much that we deal with that we
Right.
hold internally, and it's because we follow that narrative of like being what a real man really is. Like
Hmm.
real men don't cry. Real men don't are not emotional like that. Real men they don't let anything get to them. That
Right.
Mm.
type of thing. Like real men are supposed to be able to take certain types of verbal abuse when we really don't. Like we're human too. Like it really hits us hard.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like especially with somebody like me who's dealt with this all their life. Like
Right.
and so I mean, being there for other people, man, like it's really tough. But I would say I'm more directing this towards the people who are like me.
Hmm.
Right.
Like I hope and pray. I hope and pray just to allow yourself to be even just a tad bit vulnerable to somebody. You don't gotta be a everybody, but at least somebody. That way somebody can at least, be there. And if you're that somebody, please, please take care of that relationship.
Yeah.
Please don't burn that bridge because you have no idea how many people are really struggling in a way where even just being vulnerable to you was like was it took
It took a
so
lot.
much. Yeah, it
Yeah.
took
Right.
so
To
much.
open up.
Yeah, so do not, if you are that person that somebody's being vulnerable to you, do not step on or make them feel like a burden because we already feel like a burden to the world.
Mm.
So you making us feel like a burden
Yeah.
is even worse. You know what I'm saying? Makes us even shut down even more.
Yeah.
Like yeah, man. So like it's like this is a message to both people. Um
No, that's good. I like that.
Shout
yeah.
out the Heat Bars in the comments. That's a brother of mine, and he's struggled. Same similar things.
Yeah, he says it here. He said, people don't know how to respond. And he said he's dealt with it too.
And it's
Yeah.
not even just people that don't understand. it's the church specifically too. Like, bro, the church is not good with mental health. Like, hands down, we really think it's like. I've had people say that it's sin. I've
It's a
had people,
sin. It's a demon. It's
bro.
yeah, all that, right?
I've had people say all these things, and I'm like, please don't be insensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Please, please, please don't be insensitive because, like the things that trigger people, you don't know, man. Like I've had people, yeah, I've had some of the most craziest things said to me that,
I can
I
imagine.
imagine.
yeah, and it's tough, man. Even when I was in the hospital, apparently some people were trolling about it. Because
No.
and people got called out on it on Twitter. Apparently, somebody hit me up about it like later when I got out the hospital. They were telling me like, "Yo," so I bet that felt weird to read that on Twitter. I was like, "Read what?" Because mind you, I was in the hospital. I would give my phone to the nurse, and I was kind of like off my phone the majority of the time,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't know what was going on. But they're like, "Yeah, man, some dude was talking stuff because apparently he was on Critique Fridays and got a bad rating and all this stuff." And
Oh my gosh.
yeah, he was just like, "Oh yeah, you never know what a bully was going through and
I
all
told
like all this."
I told you I wasn't whack. I told you I was the best rapper. You know?
Yeah, they made it all about them, and it was like, dude, like, yeah, they got some serious issues too, man, and you can see that. But like, my thing is like, dude, like, you just don't know, so always be cautious, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
especially with today, like a lot of men are. I'm starting to see like a lot more men are actually coming out a little bit more, which is good.
Yeah.
And that's one reason why I'm even saying what I'm saying, and even able to try to be a little bit more vulnerable now because, like, I know people are struggling in silence inside the church, and I know
Yeah.
people are hiding it. I
Right.
know people are hiding it, and they're so afraid. But don't be afraid, man. Like, this is me saying that to you. Like, do not be afraid. Like, let people know, and God will change that, man. God will change and do a work in your life that you've never seen.
Man.
So,
Oh, man,
Amen.
yeah.
yeah.
That's why I asked too, because like I know people are struggling. I know, like, you know, like in the Hispanic community, it's just not something that you talk
Oh,
about, whether mental
bro.
health or struggling with something or whatever. You know what I mean? So having that conversation is already awkward, just because
Mm-hmm.
it's not something that more than likely you didn't have with your dad or your grandpa or anybody in your family. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so I'm glad that you shared that, bro, because like I said, like I I ask my brothers, I talk to these dudes like every day. You know what I mean? We talk about everything. Actually, one time I had said something jokingly, and Switch was like, yo, you good? Yeah. Oh no, man, I was totally kidding. I'm sorry, I'll never joke that way again. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But like, I appreciated that because he like checked me. You know what I mean? Because even if like for a small fraction, you know what I'm saying, like I was being serious. You know what I mean? Like he called it out. You know what I mean? And so I want to be able to do that. For other people as well, especially people who are struggling in silence, like you mentioned.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I also want to say something because I think sometimes us that are on the receiving end, right? Like when we have our friends and we're having conversations, um, I think sometimes, and this is the church, like you was mentioning, sometimes we want to kind of play the hero role. Like, I'm gonna just say something and this guy's gonna just snap out of it, or
Drop a
Bro.
bar.
and
Drop
yeah,
a
I'm gonna
bar.
just say the perfect spiritual thing that's just gonna make the depression go away, and it doesn't
That's
work
the
that way.
worst.
You know what I'm
That's the
saying?
worst.
Like
I've
one
had
thing
people.
I remember
No,
was
go ahead.
just like the whole what about your family? Like, you're being selfish,
Oh,
kind of things like
bro.
that. And it's like, maybe
In
go
those
online
moments,
and go read some research or
in those
whatever.
moments, you don't even care about that. Like, and that's
Right.
the thing is, like I said, and the reason why, and it's not because I don't love, it's not because I didn't love them, it's because I didn't love myself. It's
Mhm.
because I don't
Right.
feel worthy enough for my wife. I don't feel worthy enough to be a father to my son. I don't feel that in that moment. I felt so like I said, I was disconnected, man. My life was it was so much different. I wasn't even in control anymore. I was like, you ever watch that movie Click with Adam Sandler?
Yeah, with the remote.
Bro, remember when he was saying like I'm on autopilot and
Yeah,
he couldn't
yeah.
control? That's exactly what I was like. It felt like inside, like because he was like being tormented by every time he would see like even his kids grow up. He was like, "What the heck? Like I missed this, I missed that." That's how I was in my head. Like I felt like I was missing everything. I couldn't even control myself. It felt so. It felt so. It was like it is the ugliest feeling
Mm.
I've ever felt that I would never wish upon my enemy, man.
Mm.
It's something else, man. But the worst thing you can do is as you're a Christian and you're going to remember, I'm a Christian. So hearing people come to me trying to give me a scripture, you gotta understand, I've read these scriptures 100 times over.
Right.
I've Googled scriptures like scriptures for anxiety, scriptures
right,
for depression,
right.
scriptures on this. You gotta understand, like I've done the digging of that already. The
You done
last thing
read
I
"Be
need you,
Anxious for Nothing" several
bro.
times.
I have read that, like, oh, all things work together for the good for those who love him. I'm like, bro, like when you tell me that, it just makes me feel like even like I know this already, but right now my mind, my heart is not believing that because I feel so worthless. I feel like God, why did you even save me? Like why like God at this point, like just take me out. Take me out. Like, bro, I was at a point where I was praying not to wake up. And
Wow.
I was waking up working or mad at God, like, God, why didn't you take me already? Like I was like the amount of yelling I did in this studio, the amount of days that I spent like and there's a couch right here behind me. Amount of days I spent there under a blanket because I was so crippled of waking up is new. It's too much to count.
Mm.
And the I praise God that he got me out of there. But it doesn't it's not the fact that I understand people want to try to encourage, but encourage by just being there. Encourage by, like, if you're that friend that does not struggle with this and you have a friend that does struggle with this, encourage by just going and be like, hey, if you want to say something to me, you can say it. If you want me to sit here in silence with you, I will sit here in silence. If you want to pray, we can pray. If you want to just go outside, I'll go outside with you. If I got to pick you up just to go driving around, let's go do it. Like, just be there for us. And if we're saying some stuff that's might be nonsense to you, just let us say it. Don't try to fix us. Just let us say it, because that's what we're feeling inside, that we have not been able. You're the first person to be able to hear us say that. So let us just say it so that way we can get it out. God will do work. Yes, he will. He is faithful in that. But like, you don't got to be God. You don't got to be the Holy Spirit to work in us. Just be the friend that we need you to be.
Amen.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, not I don't want to say it like that.
No,
but
I hear you. I hear you.
that
Because
because
I think this
there's
combo
a
is
lot of people
necessary,
going
man.
through it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, like you said, and especially now, and I mean, it's always been going around, but now with social media is like keeping up with the Joneses, right? Like you said, what's a man, right? It's like, oh, this wealthy guy who's, he's driving a Tesla or whatever, or doing whatever, and
The Michael
you don't have
Tates,
that, right?
all that, yeah. Or the Andrew Tate. Sorry, the Andrew Tates.
Top G.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But dope stuff, man. And we'll be praying for you. You know what I'm saying? And
thank you, bro.
We
Thank
appreciate you for even venting to us, right? Who are we to but I just feel like, I appreciate you opening up so much on our platform.
Being transparent, man. Like that's it.
That's only helping me too. Like, so you guys are a blessing right now, because it helps me being able to do that. But I know I want to be able to help other brothers, man. I don't want to be backward in that position again. And I know, like, it's not done yet. Like, it's still something that's going to live with me. And I've accepted that now. But that's why I'm fighting now, bro. Like, I'm fighting like I've never fought before. Like, and that's one thing to also keep a reminder. If you're somebody who is not struggling with this, remind yourself, like, you wake up and you're fine. some of us are fighting to live. You
Mm.
wake up and live. We're waking up to fight to live.
Mhm.
And like keep that in mind. Keep that in mind for us. Cause like I know every day that I'm waking up, I'm fighting to live and I get it. That's why when I'm in the gym, I'm like, I think to myself, I'm like, I'm fighting. God's giving me strength. Praise God for this. And I want to be here. I realize like my son needs me. I realize that like one thing Dylan Chase, man, shout out Dylan Chase, shout out Derek Miner, shout out Biz from Reach Records, shout out Marty and all of them, man. They were all hitting me up while I was in the hospital. Chad from Rapzilla, he was just hitting me up nonstop. Like there were so many, even people from Critique Fridays, like a lot of those artists were hitting me up too, and people just donated out of nowhere. Somebody, my man PDK started a GoFundMe for me and my family because I wasn't working for like 3 months, man.
Yeah.
I wasn't working for like almost 3 to 4 months. I was in and out of the hospital. I was in the hospital for almost 2.5 months, and
That's a long time.
yeah. So and mind you, I'm the only one that works in my household.
Yeah.
So it was tough, man. I mean, we burned through our savings and everything. Like it was hard, man. But praise God, He's giving me back. He's got me back on my feet already, and we're really, I'm working again and everything. So, but yeah, man, it's life is crazy. Life is crazy. But I will say, like, I am working on a whole project around this. I've been working on it for
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, you're gonna hear some raw stuff. It's not gonna be no cliche cookie cutter stuff. Like you're gonna hear some stuff in this project where some people probably even be like, why'd you have to say that? It's gonna be like, bro, that's how it felt.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. Like you gotta understand, like, this is real. It's not just like, Sunday school type stuff. It's like,
Right.
Noah's Ark was not all like fluffy the way that
Right.
Sunday school
Even Elijah,
portrays
he
it.
felt alone too.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
everything, all of that was not like the Bible is very, very raw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, what I would be saying, some of them, some things would be like, wow, but it's because it's the way I felt. But God brought me from that. It's got me through that and it's getting me through that,
So you rhyming on this album?
No, well, maybe I'm not sure yet.
A little auto-tune?
I'm getting a lot of different artists, a
Okay.
lot of artists, a lot of brothers who already been or working on tracks already, and some of the quite a few of these records I made in the hospital.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I was,
So I imagine it's very therapeutic for you.
Some of these records, like the intro, I can't even listen to right now because it's just so real, so raw, and there's beats that I can just listen to, sit down and listen to and remind my like I'm like back in the hospital on my bed,
Wow.
making the beat. Like I wanted to just while I was in there, I was using those beats as diaries, like emptying out what I was feeling, because bro, yeah, it's some of the best music I've ever made for sure. So yeah, I'm excited to put it out, but I'm more. It's not just to like, put out for like, you to rock. It's more of like, I want you to hear my story. I want y'all to hear what I was going through, and I want y'all to feel it even through the beats. I want y'all to, if y'all hear the beat, y'all just like, wow, like that beat itself spoke to me. Like I want it to be like that. So yeah, shout out to everybody that's even been helping me on this project. So
who do you got helping you on that project? What are some of the names?
I don't want to say much right now.
Say it.
Yeah, I wanted to have it more as a surprise, and when y'all see the track list, you're like, like.
Oh,
gotcha. So we can expect some new music for you, and you're back with Critique Fridays, right?
I am. Yeah, praise
Officially
God.
back?
I am. Yeah, officially back. Shout out Chad. He's been so supportive through it all. Shout out Justin. He's been helping me too. So yeah, it's been great, and I love doing Critique Fridays. Like I said, I go till midnight now. I don't do the whole 4 a.m. thing anymore.
Yes.
So yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Doing
You're
that,
holding yourself accountable like
working
that.
on beats and stuff for different artists and stuff right now. There's a lot of different artists I'm working with right now. So
when is the album? Is it for this year or?
I'm pushing, but you know how it is whenever it's like you have a lot of different artists and
Right.
you're waiting for verses and stuff. So I'm pushing. I wanted to have it this year, so I'm doing the best I can right now. But yeah, I want to. He said, "Can I get a snippet of a beat?" Just saying. I don't know.
He said, "I don't know about that."
I don't know yet.
That was another thing I was gonna ask. I mean, before we wrap this up, the work ethic in you making beats, like what's that like? You know what I'm saying? Is it like your creative process? Is it like I wake up and I feel inspired, or is it like
Bro,
I'm gonna
it's
make a
always
bunch
at
of beats?
night. It's always at night.
Okay.
I have my best ideas at night. Like I'll be laying down with my wife and the baby, and I'm like, I gotta get to the studio. But like there's times where I'm like even humming stuff on my voice memo,
Yeah.
but like quietly in the closet, like like. So some of these voice memos are hilarious, but yeah, like a lot of times it's at night. I'm trying to like do it throughout the day now. Like I'm trying to work on it while, you know, like me and my wife are creating schedules now as opposed to before. Before I didn't have a schedule at all. Now we're creating a schedule to where like, oh, we wake up, we're gonna do this with the baby, blah blah blah, and then like any time in between then when I'm like doing a nap, when the baby's down for a nap, I'm like rushing down to the studio or something and just working there. But yeah, like a lot of ideas. I tend to like make beats in my head first and then come to the studio and then lay it all out.
Okay.
So that's how I've been doing things a lot lately.
But is it like I gotta make a beat a day, or is it just an
No, I don't.
inspiration?
I know some people kind of do that, and I used to do that. Now I'm like, I just let it flow.
Yeah.
Because I was doing that before, and it just felt not fun anymore. Because I felt like, oh, I got to do this, and then I'll make the crappiest thing, and and it just sits on my hard drive. So it's like,
Right.
I want to be very intentional about what I make now. Yeah, man. So
Good
that's
stuff.
kind of how it's been. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well,
Wait,
with
who's
that,
this? You said I remember meeting Obi and Ada at Dylan Shade's album release party. That, hey, shout out to you. He said Ada. Oh my goodness. Nobody knows where Ada is.
Uh-oh.
Shout out to you. He knows me personally. Then he said Ada.
That's Mason.
Mason.
That's our brother. Yeah.
That's definitely an Oklahoma name.
Yep.
Yep. You called it.
Well, Ada. He said Ada. Ada's in Oklahoma. That's where I used to live.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
But yeah, man, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you coming on the show. Getting to know you more. I mean, it's amazing, man. You're an amazing person, man. Just hearing you, your testimony, the way you handle your business, right?
Yo, the way he was fighting for Ryan too, man.
The way he was fighting for Ryan. Like, yeah, Tank was all busted. He had a hematoma, right?
Go back.
He looked like Martin Lawrence, right?
Go back and watch it.
But we appreciate you, man. Plug in your I think most people know where to find you, but plug it in if they haven't heard about you.
Well, I appreciate y'all first and foremost. Thank you guys for having me on here. Thank you guys for inviting me on here. I really appreciate it. It was really fun. I got to vent, so thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, you can find me everywhere at On Beat Music. Hit up Spotify, On Beat Music. Critique Fridays every Friday at 8:00. And yeah, I'll be if you want, please go follow my Spotify playlist. I have like over 200 something songs on there that I produced. So Go follow that playlist.
Fire.
Yep.
That's dope.
Dope. All right. Switch, what we got?
Well, with that being said, we got the scripture today. We have 1 Corinthians 15:45-46. It says, "Thus it is written, the first man, Adam, becoming a living being, the last man becoming a life-giving spirit. But it is not the spiritual that is first, but the natural, and then the spiritual." Amen.
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 Well, good
Bars.
stuff. Well, thank you everybody for watching, listening. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to support, definitely hit up the link in the description to become a member and support the channel. And thanks again to OB for coming on. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Love you
OB, don't
guys.
go nowhere if you can.
Okay.
Yeah.